Well, welcome everybody to another beatboxing podcast broadcasting to you live from the True North. Special KUMITE edition for everybody on this beautiful Friday evening. A lot going on in the news, a lot of going back and forth between Fury and Usyk, and apparently a lot of people have something to say about that. Who's ducking whom? That's what we're going to try to find out on this KUMITE. It only comes along every 120 years. So when it comes around, you better show up. Otherwise, you miss it. You miss it. So we're going to be having Iamyourleader versus KungfuBrandon. Once they get here, I want to try to set some of the terms of the debate. How are we going to decide the winner? I think they both said that we're going to be doing some sort of a poll. So you guys will decide who won the debate. And that's the way we are going to be doing it. I also invited Jimmy and Gonzalo, see if they want to jump on the panel to be on the floor, the front row seats to this, because we're also going to be, we need a panel of elders, because at the end of the episode, we're going to take phone calls. We're going to let people chime in, say what they want to say about the debate. And so that's that. So without further ado, let's get started on this matter. Actually, before we do that, shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about Team Batman Boxing, official Scorecard Boxing in the house. Shout out to him. Ponchi in the house. SSC. Sergeant Z USMC. Jazar in the house as well. Ernie Wiles. JDA, aka Joe. The Quags in there as well. Shout out to the Quags. Who else? Iamyourleader is already in the chat. Shout out to him. King Bucho in there. Brian Mexican. Jack the Code of Fan Nuff. Reverend Pickles. Bernard. Many more people to come, I'm sure. Fellas, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. All right. Now, may I just say something right here? I will be acting as the moderator, I believe, unless otherwise stipulated. And I just want to say, you can't appeal to me for help, cooperation, advice. I am here as a third-party intervener in this matter. Okay, I accept for value and return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter. I got that from Daryl Brooks, by the way, the Daryl Brooks Trust. So I'm just going to be repeating that throughout the episode. And if anybody's tired of that, when anybody gets pissed off at that, too bad, man. You can fucking log off the show if you want. What do I care? I'm a third-party intervener. Can do what I want. All right. Enough prevaricating. Let's get started. Let me invite the parties involved in this matter. That's KungfuBrandon, who will be arguing for Alexander Usyk, and we've got Iamyourleader, who will be arguing for Tyson Fury. There's only one Tyson Fury. So that's what we're going to be getting to here. And again, we're going to be getting a poll there. Bucho, if you're listening, would you be so kind as to start the poll for me? I can do it, actually, but just let me know in the chat. All right, hold on a second. Let me boost the volume here so we can hear our competitors. All right, Iamyourleader, KungfuBrandon. Are you fellas there?
Yeah.
And can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Hey, who is this Brandon Kung Fu? First of all, who are you? I've never seen you in this Discord before.
I've never seen you in this Discord before.
I've been in this Discord for a minute, dude.
But I've never seen
you before. You kind of just popped up out of nowhere with your hate for Fury, and that's why I kind of was like, what the fuck, man? You kind of just hate for Fury. It's just automatic. I just want to know why, what is the dislike for Fury? Is it just you can't handle what he says? Does he get in your head? As you just don't like him bullshitting all the time? Because he is a bullshitter.
I don't like him bullshitting all the time.
Okay, then why do you let it get to you? He fights a normal schedule like every other boxer. Name me his last five opponents.
The people he chooses to fight.
Name me his last five opponents, bro.
We're getting off with a bang here.
Dillian White, who AJ couldn't even fight just now.
Dillian White.
Okay, Otto Wallin, same guy Dillian White duck, said he had an injury. Otto Wallin's not a scrub. I mean, where was all this hate for Wilder? I mean, where was all this hate for Fury before, right after, before the Dillian White fight? Where was all this hate? People want to throw away all of Fury's accomplishments, like coming up like the Vlad win ain't shit. Like, no one could beat Vlad in Germany for 10 years. Like, that's a serious thing. He did that. Whether it was a boring fight or not, Vlad stunk out that division for 10 plus years. Fury was able to defeat that. He was the only one to do it.
All right, let me
Same
just say
thing.
something right here. Let me just intervene here. This is the power round, which means it's not the formal debate yet. I'll just let you guys go.
Okay.
But KungfuBrandon, if you want to
I
reply,
mean, if you feel like you're overpowered, bro, just talk over me.
When he fought Vlad, even though that was an incredibly boring fight, he got on a drug binge for 3 years and refused to fight him again. Then Joshua fought him and beat him.
Okay,
took
but
over
he
the
was out of
heavyweight
boxing,
division.
bro. He wasn't
Why was he
bullshitting
out of
around.
boxing?
He made a mistake. He got
Why
out
was
of
he
boxing. Let's
Why?
not talk about that, because even without those 3 years, he's still more accomplished than any other heavyweight in this generation. And you can't say any otherwise. AJ and Eddie Hearn wishes they did what Fury did. Why do you think they took out Madison Square Garden and were going to fight a fucking American? And then Andy Ruiz came along and spoiled all their plans, dude. Like, he couldn't even get past Ruiz. Fury did exactly what Eddie Hearn and AJ dreamed of. And you're just going to, you're going to hate on that, right? You know, there's so much other shit in boxing.
Because Wilder refused
so many problems, bro.
and so did Fury.
Hate on Fury, that's cool, bro.
Because
Showtime is losing boxing. Al Heyman's destroyed boxing. Gervonta Davis shits on toothbrushes. Errol Spence doesn't fight anybody. But here you are, you want to fuck around and fuck with Fury because he hasn't made the Usyk fight yet.
Yes.
Like, bruh, come on, the fight. You don't think that fight's going to seriously happen? Even if it doesn't happen, like, right away? Even if Fury fights someone in between?
If it does happen, it's going to be
Even if Fury fights someone in between, you really don't think it's going to happen?
Won't take concessions to make the fight happen.
You think Fury is afraid of Usyk or something?
Yes.
You're crazy, bro. No boxers really fear each other. It's about money, dude.
Yes, they do.
It's all about money for Fury.
Wait,
you think
have you ever...
Fury does demolition jobs on cruiserweights, dumbass. He does demo jobs, bitch. Demo jobs. He's going to fall down.
Actually, Fury
why did you get on this fucking phone call with me?
Fury struggles most with shorter fighters, actually.
Who?
Like Otto Wallin.
Who do you struggle with?
Otto Wallin, who should have beat Fury.
Otto Wallin ain't a short fighter.
He's 6'4".
6'4" ain't that short, dumbass.
6'3" isn't that short, dumbass.
You're dumb as hell, aren't you?
You're dumb as shit.
You think 6'3" is short? 6'4" is short?
That's how Usyk is.
Yo, Fury's a monster. You just basing it off Fury. You just basing it off Fury's size, aren't you?
6'3", right?
Hey, you know, Usyk's promoters had reservations of him even fighting bigger heavyweights when he was a cruiserweight. Do you know they won't even speak Fury's name because they thought, yeah, he's a little too big, you know? His promoter was like, yeah, he's a little too big. I don't know. Maybe we go after the smaller heavyweights. Maybe that's why the negotiation's taking so long. Maybe it's a cash out for Usyk.
Have you ever seen Fury this quiet?
Bro.
Have you ever seen Fury this quiet for months?
Fury's been talking all the time, bro.
No,
Fury does whatever he wants, bro.
Radio silent for months since Usyk's been
Fury
calling
does whatever he wants, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
He does whatever he wants. Who is he?
So you think Fury is physically scared? You think mentally and physically scared of Usyk? But you're dumb as fuck. You have nothing to judge that off of. How?
Yes, I do.
He was afraid to come to America to fight Wilder. He was afraid to go to Germany to fight Klitschko. Yeah,
I never said any of those things.
Definitely, bro. Because he's been afraid in the past. Because he's been afraid in the past. Hey, why is AJ afraid to fight Dillian White? Sounds like AJ is afraid to fight even Dillian White, bruh. Why don't you talk about AJ fighting this guy Franklin? But you got all this energy for Fury.
Dillian White.
Fuck? Why did Fury hurt you so bad? Are you a Wilder fan? No. Are you a LDBC bitch, bro?
No.
Come on, dude. It's boxing. Fights take a while to get together, brother. It's okay. If this fight doesn't happen right away, it probably will happen. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fucking boxing. Get the fuck over it, dude. There's other shit in boxing you should have energy for, not Fury, bro. Fury's on a regular schedule than everyone else. I don't even know what you're saying right now.
1 month
No, you don't even know what you're talking about, dude. You just dislike Fury. That's it. You dislike Fury. You're not at the negotiation table. You act like you're at the negotiation table. You're sitting in there in the chat in the Discord saying Fury's duck when you really don't know.
Fury is a duck.
I'm not saying Usyk's a duck. I don't hate Usyk. Why is that? But I want Fury to win. Neither is Fury. How do you know Fury's a duck?
Is.
Because
He's
of what
giving
everyone else
ridiculous
says?
contracts.
You live in fucking the UK. You live in the house. You live in his household. You know exactly
Fury
what's
said
going
he
on.
wants out of retirement and fight the winner of Usyk or Joshua unless they give him $500 million.
And you believe Tyson Fury, everything that he says? You're a dumbass, bro.
All right, let me intervene here. Let me hold on. I gotta intervene. I got a third party intervener. Hey, fellas. Third party. I'm being the third party intervener here. Third party intervener. Fellas. Third party intervener coming into the house. I gotta read a super chat here. Shout out to Jack, the Code of Fan Nuff, who says, "Why didn't Fury dog walk McDermott? Fury robbed him." All right.
Yeah, that's true. McDermott beat Fury. That's true.
Oh, we're going to talk about some English fight that he might have struggled in, but ended up pulling out in the end. And you're going to say that, oh, this other guy deserved the win. Yeah. I'm sure you can go in everyone else's boxing catalog and find a win that was subjective or 50-50. That's a stupid argument.
No, you can't.
Yeah. Oh, really? What about Boots Ennis versus Karen? I thought Karen won.
That's cool. I think he won too.
Cool. There you go, brother. Perfect example. Dumbass, bro. You really decided to get on the debate with me? I've never even seen you in the Discord, bro.
Someone getting robbed.
How many people I've linked on
someone getting robbed?
All right, now listen.
You another knot on the belt.
Let's make this
on the belt,
right,
my guy.
This was listen. We got off to a good start. Hey, fellas. We got off, fellas. Hold on, fellas. I'm your leader. I'm your leader.
No, you're not.
Hold on, fellas.
Yes, I am. I'm at work cooking your ass, bitch.
I'm gonna have to mute you guys. Fellas, please. Okay. Now, we went out. I let you go for about a good 5-7 minutes, more than that. That was the blast out round. Now let's try to do it a little formally. All right. So I'm gonna start with KungfuBrandon. I want to let him lay out his case. And then I am your leader. You can rebuttal. Does that sound fair to you guys?
Yeah.
I'm your leader.
Of course.
Fantastic. Look, I love the energy. People in the chat are ramped up. All right,
I know. Bring the energy, man. It's boring if I was just talking off silently.
All right. KungfuBrandon, lay out your case, please.
Yeah. When the Saudi Arabia deal happened, Bob Arum said that Usyk's team already signed the contract for the fight to happen, and Fury's team didn't.
Okay, how much money was
recently?
Hold on. I want to see if Kungfu.
Yeah. Recently, Usyk's manager said the price that Fury wanted for that fight would be more than Usyk and Fury's purse combined.
I can't take this guy seriously, bro. Huh? Bro, what is Saudi Arabia? How much money were they putting up? Tell me. Give me the number.
We don't know.
What?
We don't know.
Exactly. So what the fuck? You're going to tell me a sold out, like 100,000 people paying customers at the gate at Wembley? You're going to tell me Saudi Arabia is put up more money than 100,000 paying customers buying
Saudi
beer?
Arabia always puts up more money.
Okay, how much are they putting up?
I don't know. They put up enough money, though.
Bro, you're dumb as fuck. But stupid argument.
Who's gone to Saudi Arabia and never got their highest pay?
Nah, bro. You know what's going on.
Who's gone to Saudi Arabia? Who's gone to Saudi Arabia and not gotten their highest payday?
Saudi Arabia's had maybe like 2 or 3. How much did AJ and Usyk get? Do you know?
Wait, let me check.
So you don't even know.
Fury,
you don't even know. You don't even know. You're saying these guys have gotten the highest paydays.
Usyk made more in that fight than Fury ever made in his career.
What was the purse?
AJ versus Usyk, 2 papers. Purse. Let me check.
Go ahead.
Meanwhile, let me read a couple of comments and you guys let me know when you come back with the figures. People in the chat,
both of them earned $75 million. Oh, my bad.
No, go. That's
yeah,
go
right, bro. I don't believe that for shit.
It was a 50-50 fight down the middle. Both of them, it was $150 million put up.
Put that in the Discord.
Okay.
By the way, I'm sharing
Put that in the
the
Discord.
I'm sharing the screen with you,
And we
fellas.
don't know.
So if you
And
want me
then
to put
again,
something up,
we don't
it will
know
be
how much Saudi put up for this fight. We don't know.
We know that Usyk agreed to it after just getting $75 million.
That's great. But guess what? Fury deserves
Fury
it.
didn't agree to it?
Share.
Yeah, that's true.
This fight should have happened in Wembley. Fuck Saudi Arabia to begin
I just
with, bro.
posted it.
This fight is for boxing. Should be in Saudi Arabia.
Now, if you
Fury has more clout than fucking Usyk. Usyk's been in the heavyweight division for like a couple years. Beat Chisora and beat a tentative AJ, who's never been the same after release, bro. He beat a tentative
against Chisora than Fury did.
Bro, he struggled with Chisora's size,
but he sold more pay-per-views than Fury did. Chisora versus Usyk sold more pay-per-views than Fury.
Usyk stop Chisora? Come on, bro.
Did Fury barely stopped a way older Chisora?
Fury beat his ass to submission, bro. He beat up on his best friend and got like millions and millions of dollars for it.
That was not the same Chisora,
bro. And the same time, Usyk was saying he couldn't fight for whatever reason.
Wait, so you think Fury will win? You think Fury will win?
Of course.
Then why doesn't he just accept the fight if it's so easy?
Well, last I've heard, 70-30, Usyk came out with some bullshit video. Yeah, I agree. But then at the end, I'm going to contradict the whole statement by bringing up something that wouldn't be in the contract about Ukraine and millions of dollars. That doesn't make any fucking sense. It's a cop-out, dude.
What he said is...
That's a cop-out.
70-30? 70-30 is a ridiculous offer, first of all.
He accepted it.
Not only did Usyk... Fury never sent him 60-40.
Are you kidding me?
Fury never sent him 60-40.
That's where the stall was. The stall was Usyk felt he was deserved 50-50.
Show me Fury sending Usyk 60-40.
And I can't confirm. This is just what I'm hearing and what I watch from all the news. They said when the fight got moved to Wembley, it was stalled because Usyk didn't want to budge from 50-50. He felt he still deserved the 50-50. So,
show me when Usyk sent him 60-40.
This dude should have done 40-60. What was wrong with 40-60?
Show me Fury sending him that.
It sounds like his team.
Do you have any article of Fury sending him 60-40?
Like we really needed to focus on what his team said when he was a cruiserweight transitioning to heavyweight.
Actually, do you have any article, dude? Do you have any article? Do you have any article of 60-40?
Bigger dudes, bruh.
Do you have any article of 60-40?
They're worried about their little middleweight going up against a big old heavyweight with size, skill, and speed, brother. It's
if they were worried,
cool. But we're talking about your hate.
Why would they turn down?
Hold on, fellas. I got a question. So now, are you guys now debating the speculation? You're speculating. You're like, who would win the fight? Is that what you guys want to get into? You let me know.
Fuck, I didn't really want to get into that because
I don't want to get into it either. What I'm saying, Beat, is if Usyk was scared of Fury,
I mean, this is all.
Why would he turn down 60-40 and take 70-30?
Hold on, repeat that, KungfuBrandon.
He didn't take 60-40.
Hold on, KungfuBrandon.
Usyk is scared of Fury. Why would he turn down 60-40 and take 70-30?
Because there's a timeline. The time's up. WBA has spoken.
The time has been ticking down the whole time.
Tyson Fury, the king, has spoken, my guy. It's all good, dude.
The king has spoken?
Yep.
Where's his 500 million?
Otherwise,
where's his 500 million?
Usyk. And if you think somehow Usyk is more accomplished than Fury at a heavyweight, you're tripping, dude. You're lying to yourself, and that's your hate.
He beat someone better than Fury ever beat. He beat someone better than Fury ever beat.
He just AJ is better 2 times last year, bro.
AJ is better again too.
Fought his mandatory, Dillian White, the same guy. Fucking AJ can't even fight. He has to fight some guy named Franklin, who lost to Dillian White.
AJ and Povetkin knocked him out.
Oh, bruh. Man.
Wait, did you say AJ lost to Dillian White?
It's It just sucks that you're like hate for this guy.
Wait, are you saying
you didn't
AJ
hate
left
on
to
him like
Dillian
a
White?
year ago?
Hold on,
That's
hold on.
the
I can't
funny
listen,
thing.
fellas.
You didn't
You
even
got
hate
okay.
on him
Let's
like
do
a year
this.
ago.
Hold
You
on,
had no
fellas.
hate
I gotta
for
intervene
Fury.
again. I gotta intervene again because people in the chat, people in the chat can't really understand you guys talking over each other. So again, let's go back to the corporate debate here. KungfuBrandon, you reply, then Iamyourleader replies, and then we go back and forth. All right. So go ahead, KungfuBrandon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if Usyk was scared of Fury, why would he take 70-30 and not 60-40?
All right, hold on now. So you're asking him a question. Okay, I'm leader. You answer the question and then you go and then we go back to KungfuBrandon. Go ahead.
Mm.
Because Fury came out with the video and gave him the ultimatum because nothing was being moved on the 60-40 crap. Nothing happened. Fury came out, said something, and then fucking Usyk said he agreed. But what did he say at the end of the video? And then Fury came out with another video right after and says, sign the contract. Just sign the fucking contract. Like, why? What's
That was the
I know
same
that
video.
Ukraine bullshit wasn't in the contract. Why is that Ukraine shit? If it's about legacy for Usyk, then fucking sign the fucking contract. Give the respect to Fury. Fury's been a heavyweight longer than you. He's been in the game longer than you, bro. It's just the way it is. The fight's moved to fucking Wembley. It's in Wembley. Okay? You can't even host your own fight in Ukraine if you even wanted to. You can't do it. You gotta make consent. You gotta concede to Fury that he's the A side. Sign 30-70. Fuck the Ukrainian bullshit.
All right,
Fuck the
KungfuBrandon.
Ukrainian bullshit. What's the
Okay.
yeah?
I'm just gonna call out this guy's inconsistency real quick. He said because Usyk wasn't taking 60-40, Fury then had to send him 70-30 for him to accept. Is that what you're saying? How does that mean
what's going on? So
how does
Fury
that mean
came out
Fury
and said
wants to fight?
70-30 and lowballed him again, and he went with it. He should have taken 60-40.
He never sent him 60-40.
He was stupid. Then why wouldn't he?
Okay,
Why wouldn't
if
it was
Fury
50-50.
lowballed him
He
more?
wanted
Does that make
50-50
Fury want to fight more?
Do you think Usyk deserves a 50-50 split if the fight's in Wembley?
Yes.
You're okay.
Let's hear. I want to hear you guys out. So we'll continue on with this point. KungfuBrandon, make your point, and then Iamyourleader, you can rebuttal.
Fury sold more against Chisora than Fury did, and Usyk. Usyk sold more than Fury.
Say that
Usyk
again,
sold
bro.
more against Chisora than Fury did, and Usyk also made more against AJ than Fury made in his whole career.
Wait,
We're talking about Usyk, bro. Usyk did not sell that fight. Usyk didn't sell that fight, bro. What are you talking about?
Did Fury sell the fight versus Chisora?
Yes. See, this is some ring IQ garbage, dude.
Okay, if he sold the fight versus Chisora,
hold on, one at a time.
They thought Dillian White sold out Wembley. Ring IQ went on his show and said Dillian White was the reason that Wembley was sold out versus Fury. It's like, bruh, your hate for Fury has completely blinded you. There's so many other shit in boxing that's so wrong that you need to focus your energy on, not fucking Fury, dude.
All right, KungfuBrandon, he's saying you're
what's wrong with the heavyweight division currently?
Talking about
he sent you said earlier in the fight.
Hold on, one at a time. Hold on, please, fellas, gentlemen. One at a time, please. I think KungfuBrandon was. I think it was KungfuBrandon. And by the way, okay, KungfuBrandon, when you make your point and you finish it, say, "That's my point," and then that we will know when you guys are done. All right, so go ahead.
Okay. When Fury, shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. Wait, let me check.
You lose. All right, let me go. So you really think he deserves a 50-50 split? That's crazy. Do you also think that White sold out Wembley when he fought Fury? Do you think the reason everyone showed up was for White? Do you agree with Ring IQ in that statement?
No.
Okay, so you think Fury sold out Wembley, not White?
No, I think they both did.
Okay. You can lie to yourself. It's cool, dude.
But yeah, if Fury was the one promoting the fight against Usyk, correct? I mean, against Chisora. It's sold less than Usyk. Doesn't that just mean Fury brings in less numbers than Usyk?
Fury's a superstar, bro, and it seems like you got some hate towards him.
If he's a superstar, why can't he sell more than Usyk?
You can prove otherwise, dude. I mean, he conquered America, and did any other UK boxer, European boxer, come over and conquer America? No.
Why does that matter?
Because it's in the landscape of boxing. Why does it matter? I bet you were jumping for joy. I bet you were jumping for joy when fucking Fury knocked out Wilder, bro. I bet you were the happiest Fury fan ever, brother.
All right, well, hold on.
Don't even deny it. Don't even deny it.
Let's stick to the issues here. Let's stick to the issues.
Bro, you're getting cooked in the chat, by the way.
Fellas, let's stick to the issues. Okay, so then let's go on with that point. Because it seems to me that the biggest point of contention here is the money. Who deserves more? Who sold out more? So I believe KungfuBrandon asked, why does that matter? Iamyourleader, if you want to reply to that, why does...
No, that's not what I said. I'm saying, why does Fury America and dominating America matter in what we're debating?
Legacy. Why do you think Usyk came over to America and fought on HBO?
One at a time, fellas. One at a time. One at a time.
And they didn't bring him back. Usyk came on to fight at HBO. He tried to, it didn't work, did it? No.
All right, Kung Fu, I think it's your turn.
Huh? Yeah, Usyk has sold over 1 million pay-per-views 3 times already.
Oh shit! Thanks, Friesen.
Fury has never sold over 1 million pay-per-views.
And unfortunately, I am at work, and I do got to go to work. Maybe 10. I can give this 10 more minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
10 more minutes. If you want proof, I mean, a lot of people know me. They know I run a very successful branch. Yeah, so pretty busy, man. Okay, but anyways, I just want you to not. Your hate for Fury is completely blinded you, dude. There's other things. You sound like a pretty smart guy, dude. I mean, well, I don't know about smart, but it sounds like you know a little about boxing. Why don't you focus that energy towards women beaters, Errol Spence, Al Heyman, Showtime, shit that deserves all the hate.
Dude. I do focus my energy towards that.
I'm with you on that. But Tyson Fury, you didn't hate him a year ago. No, you didn't.
Yeah, and now I hate him because of what he's been doing.
So you're gonna throw away. So his win against Vlad was nothing now.
Fury said
against Wilder. Wilder was a piece of shit. He can't box, And you know what? I kind of agree. Wilder wasn't the greatest, but he was the king at the time in America. You had to defeat him. A certain group of people held him to that high standard. Fury came over here and whooped his fucking ass. Hey, man.
Fury said it. Actually, Fury said this in an interview recently, but he said it took a long time to make Mayweather versus Pacquiao. And although Pacquiao was said to be the greatest of all time, and he was over the hill because Floyd beat him, he's greater. And he said you can't compare people like me and Floyd to people who took losses like Pacquiao.
I don't know. I'm losing you, bro. You're kind of rambling.
So Fury is trying his best to do the Mayweather blueprint.
The Mayweather blueprint? Mayweather didn't go to Germany. Mayweather didn't go to America. Mayweather didn't go anywhere. What are you talking about, dude? You're trying to fight. Shut up, dude. You're stupid.
Didn't Mayweather try to fight Oscar De La Hoya? Didn't Mayweather fight
One at a time. One at a time. Fellas. I gotta intervene again. I have to intervene again. I have to intervene because you guys are starting to talk over each other. First of all, okay, let me read somebody's been sending super chats. Shout out to Paper Tiger for his contribution to the super chat. He says, ask why an all-time great Fury had to go to war with Wilder to beat him. Okay, he doesn't specify to whom we should ask the question, but whoever wants to go first on that one. Why did Fury have to go to war with Wilder to beat him?
Because he's not that good.
The first fight, he really didn't. He had a bad game plan. Second fight, he had a great game plan. What kind of war was in the second fight? That was a beatdown. Third fight, he came in a little sloppy, but it was a beatdown. Besides, like, the end of that fourth round, the 30 seconds at the end of that was a beatdown too. So what kind of wars are we talking about?
He got knocked down twice in the fight.
He wasn't hurt either time, bro.
Yes, he was. That's why he sat on the floor.
Oh my God. That's what they teach you in boxing. You take the full count before you get up. He was looking at the ref the whole time. He was not hurt. He was not buzzed. If you are aware, it's a bad sign if you get up too fast. If you hop up real fast, your legs probably aren't there yet. Your mind ain't there yet. That means you're not thinking straight.
So you just said his legs and his mind weren't there yet. You said his legs and his mind weren't there yet. You said that.
For taking the whole count, for doing what you're supposed to do.
You said his legs and his mind weren't there yet. That's what you just said.
That's crazy.
You just said his legs and his mind weren't there yet.
LDPC tried to say it was like a long count or some shit. No, he did what you're supposed to do. You get up at 9, 8, 9. Right at 9.
Yeah,
you get up.
You just said his legs and his mind wasn't there.
Wasn't buzzed.
You just said that. You just said his legs and his mind weren't there.
His legs and his mind weren't there? What are you talking about?
You just said that. When he knocked down, he was buzzed.
I'm talking about what you do. I'm not talking about Fury. I'm talking about boxing in general. I'm schooling you. I'm giving you a lesson on what you do when you get knocked down in boxing.
What have you been talking about boxing in general?
You're disparaging him for getting up at 8 or 9, saying that he was hurt or something. That's why he did that. No, he was collecting himself, getting himself together, taking the little break, doing what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and he was collecting himself,
and you want to clown him for that, bro. That's how.
All right, let me read another super chat here.
He was collecting himself. Okay, go.
It's all good. It's all good, brother. You're stumbling on your words.
Let me read another super chat here. Paper Tiger says, I actually wanted Wilder to beat Fury because I knew he wouldn't hold up that division like... I actually wanted Wilder to beat Fury because I knew he wouldn't hold up the division like Fury by either getting knocked off or just being a titleist. All right, so Paper Tiger chiming in. All right, so you guys are talking
Wilder definitely, was really progressive in the division, fought everyone, right?
Well, listen, you guys are talking about the...
Furious fight, two good people.
What'd you say, Kung Fu?
Furious fought two good people in his whole career.
In your opinion, okay. Not in my opinion.
Okay, in your opinion,
not in a lot of other people's opinion. Dillian White was a good guy. Vladimir Klitschko was a good guy.
All right, let's stick to that. Let's stick to that. Hold on.
Otto Wallin was a good guy.
Let's stick to that. Let's stick to that.
Wilder was a pretty good guy.
Let's stick to that. Let's stick to that. Kung Fu, you go ahead and then make your case for the Wilder resume.
Man, dude, this is getting boring.
Otto Wallin was a nobody when Fury beat him.
Oh, Fury.
Then why did Dillian White duck him?
Hold on, let me finish. I am your leader. I am leader. You'll get your chance to reply. Hold on. Kung Fu, go ahead.
Dillian White just got knocked out by Povetkin before Fury beat him.
And the same guy, AJ, just fucking...
Hold on, let him finish.
The only credible people Fury have on his record is Vladimir Klitschko and Wilder. And Wilder hasn't fought anybody good either.
Okay. All right. Cool, man.
Vladimir Klitschko is literally the only good person.
It's all good, dude. That's all your opinion. That's all opinion based. I think different. I think he's fought a lot of good guys. I think you could even say Stephen Cunningham was a good fighter.
He was an okay fighter.
And Chisora back then when Fury was fighting Chisora in England, those were some good fights, bro. That first Fury Chisora
was a good setup. It was a good step-up fight, not a good fight.
Good fight, bro. Chisora.
That wasn't a good fighter.
Chisora went on to give Vitaly Klitschko a run for his money in his prime. When Chisora was in his prime. Not now, obviously.
Klitschko destroyed Chisora.
Huh?
Klitschko destroyed Chisora.
Vitaly Klitschko didn't destroy Chisora. It was actually, you need to rewatch that fight. You need to rewatch the fight, dude.
Well, Fury's been notoriously hard to make fight with throughout his whole career. He
I don't
ducked
know.
the second Klitschko fight.
How?
He ducked Anthony Joshua multiple times.
How?
He tried to get a third Deontay Wilder fight. He's trying now to fight Francis Ngannou. He ducked Usyk and was clearly running from that fight until Usyk said, okay, I'll just accept 70-30. He called out Joshua after Joshua just got brutally beaten and said, you have 1 week to sign the contract. And then Joshua accepts it. and then Fury...
Hey, you never thought that Fury's fucking with you, bro? You just never thought about that?
Well, if he is, he's doing a really good job.
Yeah. Why are you getting so frustrated about it?
Wait, why would I want
Why
a
are you
champion
getting so upset about it, bro?
Why would I want a
Why do
champion?
all his accomplishments go down the drain because of this one fight and it just hasn't been made yet? It hasn't even
Why
been
would
a year
I want
since
a
they've been talking.
champion?
Come on, bro.
Why would I
Hold on, hold on. Let Kungfu. Okay, but let Kungfu reply. Let Kungfu reply. He got the. We got the. Yeah. Let Kungfu reply. Go ahead.
Why would I want a champion to mess with me instead of other people he's about to fight?
Fury's a shit talker, bro. I'm sorry, that's the way he's been his whole career.
Does Fury know me?
You don't gotta listen to him, dog. But he
Does
fights.
Fury know me? Why is he messing with me?
And I believe he's gonna fight Usyk. You. That's fine. If you want to think he's a duck, go ahead, brother. You can be mad and
I'm just saying, Usyk had to give up.
And hate on Fury. It's all good.
Usyk had to make every concession.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at Usyk.
Fury tried his best to get out of that fight.
Like, Usyk's ducking Fury
because
no one knows, bro. You're not at the negotiating table. I'm not at the negotiating table.
Yeah,
but in Fury's past, it's never been an issue. Fury's challenged himself, dude. Fury's actually challenged himself in boxing when too many boxers failed to do that. Boxers do not challenge themselves anymore at all.
Challenged himself.
Fury
did challenged himself one time.
That's why I respect him. So I'm not gonna be senile and hate on him just because he hasn't fought Usyk yet. Even though Usyk didn't want to fight in December. Yeah,
Fury challenged himself one time, just like Ryan Garcia is about to do. And Tank David.
Didn't Fury and Usyk want to fight before Wilder? Didn't Fury and Usyk agree to a fight before Wilder? Was Fury scared back then? So Wilder didn't go to arbitration. Wilder didn't file whatever that shit is to force the third fight.
Joshua.
So, oh yeah, you're right. It was Anthony Joshua. But you would say he was afraid to fight Anthony Joshua as well, right? You would say Fury is afraid of AJ. You said that earlier, right?
Yes, I would.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, I think your hate for Fury has just gone way too far, bro.
All right, well,
I don't think any
fellas.
Joshua along for weeks, and then I think to fight Wilder.
I think Iamyourleader is going to leave soon, so let's do some closing statements. We'll go with Iamyourleader first, and then KungfuBrandon, or however you guys want to do it. But I would suggest some sort
of.
All
I'm saying is, man, I don't know why you hate Fury so much. You don't know what's going on, really. You say Fury is ducking. It's stupid. You're not at the negotiating table. Nobody really knows. So many other fighters and promoters you could have all that energy to, but you want to give it to Fury. I don't get it, bro. Like, focus that shit on all the other shitty shit in boxing, bro. But and you think Fury is afraid of AJ because you think Fury ducked AJ when you don't know that either. It's kind of ridiculous, dude.
All right, that's the closing statement right there. Let's get KungfuBrandon's closing statement. Go ahead.
Yeah. Since I think after the Vlad fight, Fury has been ducking people a lot recently. He ducked the second fight. He ducked AJ multiple times when AJ sent him multiple 60-40 offers. And Fury, after a draw with Wilder, said, "I'm not accepting anything less than 50-50." After drawing with Wilder the first time.
All right. Well, listen, these were. Hey, by the way, what we're going to do is we're going to take this to because this was a little shorter than I expected. So we're going to go to the main voice chat channel on the BDA Discord in case anybody else wants to jump in. Okay. So I'm your leader. If you still want to stay, if you still got 5 minutes more, you guys can still go at it. But let's all jump. And Jimmy, I see you're here too. Let's jump to the main voice chat. All right. In the Discord. It's going to be like an open panel.
Show over?
No, it's not over. It's not over. We're gonna switch over to the. Okay, we're gonna switch over to the main voice chat. All right. See you guys there. Yeah, because you see, this had to be the type of debate where both guys were bringing the type of energy where it couldn't be 100% corporate. But we did indeed try to keep it that way. Okay, let's go to the main voice chat here. There we go. KungfuBrandon, I see you there. I'm going to, Iamyourleader's back. All right, so what do you guys want to do? You guys want to keep going at it while Iamyourleader's still here, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, man, I just, you should really drop the hate for Fury, dude. You don't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on, bro. What if the fight happens? Will you not anymore?
If the fight happens, it's all on Usyk.
But you won't hate Fury anymore.
Fury's trying his best not to take the fight, but I'll respect Fury more if he takes it.
You're silly, dude. You're absolutely silly. Your hate for Fury has blinded all his accomplishments, bro. You want to talk shit. Now you're saying after the Vlad fight, he's been ducking and dodging. So him going to America and conquering Wilder when no one else could, when Wilder and AJ tried to make a fight for so fucking long and couldn't do it, but then Fury steps in and just does it?
I have a question. What has Fury done?
Whoa. Come on, bro.
Fury... what's your question?
So you think he's a duck, even though AJ Wilder can never make a fight, but Fury came in and did it right away.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why couldn't Wilder and AJ? Like, come on, bro.
After the second Fury fight, Wilder said, "I could have had the AJ fight, but I chose to fight you instead."
Wait, say that again?
After the Wilder Fury second fight, when Wilder wanted the rematch and it went to arbitration, Wilder tweeted on Twitter that he could have got the AJ fight and turned him down to fight Fury.
I don't know about that, man.
He said it on Twitter.
I don't know about that. Yeah, people say a lot on Twitter. So does Fury. Fury says a lot on Twitter, and you take everything you say to heart.
Yeah, why would I not believe Wilder?
You shouldn't believe Fury, bro. Well, you take everything Fury says literally, and it fucking hurts your feelings or something.
Can I ask you a question? Do you think that fighters give ridiculous offers that they know the other team isn't going to accept to duck a fight without ducking a fight?
Yes, I do.
It's not a ridiculous offer, bro. It's not a ridiculous offer.
Well, if a mandatory is mandatory gets 30%, why would he offer a guy with 3 titles 30%? That is a ridiculous offer.
He has no fans. It's in Wembley Stadium. He has no fans. Probably 100,000 of those people, all those paying customers aren't coming for Usyk, bro. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Usyk. Then why? Well, Usyk throws the fight in Ukraine. Let's see him do that. Then maybe he can demand
mandatory fighter gets
Fury 30%. Wouldn't agree to that.
Then maybe he can demand that.
Fury wouldn't agree to that.
Gets 30%, and Usyk a 3 belt holder.
Come on, bro. He deserves 30%. Why was he barking? Why did he deserve 50-50? You think he deserves 50-50?
No, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. I'm not saying
40-60? So 40-60?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, he didn't agree to that either. Okay?
But he didn't agree to 70-30, but he didn't agree to 60-40?
Because Fury was sick of this shit, and they gave him a deadline. Fury fucked him even more. If you're going to be stupid, I'm going to lowball you even more. And he agreed to it. That guy's an idiot, bro. The fight probably could have happened if he shut it. Who knows? Maybe the fight would have happened at 40-60. We all don't know. We're not at the negotiating table.
You just admitted that Fury lowballed him. You just admitted that Fury lowballed him,
bro.
So your hate
for Fury is
60-40 was a legitimate offer, and then Fury was like, nope, no
60-40. 70-30 is a legitimate offer. Fury's been in the heavyweight game longer. It's in his hometown. Wembley, it's going to be over 100,000 plus.
Fury's ripping him off, bro. Let's keep it real, bro. Like me, I don't have to lie. I don't have a dog in this shit.
If 70-30 for a mandatory is
I want to hear from Hold on, X-Mark. Hold on. I want to hear from Don Vergassos. I want to hear from Don Vergassos who just jumped in. Don Vergassos, go ahead, please.
All I'm saying is that all this idea that Usyk has no fans and all this shit is just a fake narrative, bro. Because when you look at the numbers, he sold 800,000 with Bellew. He sold 1 million with Chisora. He sold 1.2 million with AJ, which probably AJ is the one that sold that shit, not really so much Usyk, but 70-30, that's a he got lowball, bro. Let's keep it real. I'm just happy the fucking fight is actually made already. That's all I
We
really
don't know
care
that.
about.
We don't know
But,
that.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
it
already
is.
saying it is
It's
made.
been reported.
We don't know
It's
that.
been
He said
reported.
some Ukrainian shit, bro. 70-30,
No.
40
It's
is
It's
fine.
been reported. It's been
Said some
reported that the fight
Ukrainian
is
Let's not
made.
get
shit,
too
dude.
emotional though, bro, because like I just got the news right now, bro. The fight is already made. They say Tyson Fury and Usyk team have both now informed the WBA that they have agreed to terms for the undisputed WBA fight. It's gonna
Damn,
Okay,
happen
but
on
can
bro.
I
April
just
Hey, so
say,
I guess
29.
Fury isn't
So,
afraid
bro,
of
It's
that
gonna
Usyk.
happen on
right
April
there,
I guess
29 on the
Fury isn't
Wembley
afraid of
Stadium.
Usyk.
that tells you right there, though, that
I
there was
guess
never
Fury isn't
64.
afraid of
Hold on.
Usyk.
But that tells you that 60-40 was never on the table because there's
Nah,
no
that
fucking
tells
Literally.
way.
you that
Can I
Fury
talk, bro?
completely
Can
won.
I
He
talk, bro?
completely won this
When I
negotiation.
talk, bro, you don't let
He won.
motherfuckers talk. That's your issue, dog. You don't let
All
people
good,
talk.
bruh. Don't.
If
It's
he jumped
boxing.
on
Just watch the fight.
70-30 that quick,
Don't get
that
upset
means
about the numbers.
60-40 was
The
never on
numbers
the
are
table.
bullshit, bro. It's
You're on
boxing,
all right,
60-40
bro.
all
was
right,
never
hey,
on
hey,
the
let me
table.
interject. Let me interject. Let me interject. Let me interject. Let me hold on. Let me interject.
All
Let
riled
me
up.
interject. Let me interject. Let me interject. Because yeah, okay, it's not exactly open last Friday. Anything goes. So let's go with X Mark, who hasn't said much. X Mark, make your point, please. The floor is yours.
My point is 60-40 was never on the table if he accepted 70-30 like that. Because there's no way he just throws away 10 points on a fight that's probably going to do 100 million plus is whatever the hell it's going to do. Huge money. There's no way he throws away tens of millions of dollars because the 60-40 must have never been on the table if he accepted 70. That's common sense.
Whatever, bro. The
So
amount
this
of
other
Fury
guy is
hate is
just
fucking
brain dead,
crazy,
and
bro. And you need to
he talks
chill.
about blind hatred to Fury. He has
It's
blind
crazy,
love for
bro.
the
The
dude.
fight's happening, and you're still hating on the guy.
Bro,
Holy
you're a
fuck,
child.
dude.
You can't even let someone finish
Hey, can you
speaking.
guys hear
That's
me?
how you're
Can
a
you guys
fucking
hear me?
child,
Can
son.
you guys hear me?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We got
hear you,
okay.
bro.
We got Soul Rebel. We got Soul
Okay,
Rebel.
hey,
He wants to
bro,
say something.
let me chime in here real quick. And I'm a Fury fan, but bro, to act like he's infallible is a joke. You know, Usyk's got 3 belts. Usyk just got done beating Anthony and Joshua twice, bro. He is being so cunty in these negotiations, and you know it. Stop acting oblivious to it, bro. You know,
He
yeah,
beat
no,
one
And
for
guy.
once
real. No,
again,
I've
you
The
been
can't
same
let
thing
listening to
about
you,
someone
bro.
Devin
speak.
Haney beating
You
Cam
are a
Hostis,
child,
dumbass.
bro.
I could say the same
No,
thing.
bro. Just
Devin
shut
Haney
up and let me
beat Cam
talk, bro.
Hostis.
All right,
Let
let
me
Soul
talk,
Rebel
bro.
finish.
Ever
Let's
since
let
What are you
Soul
Ruiz,
Rebel
scared of, bro?
you
finish.
think
Let's let
AJ
Soul
was the
Rebel
same?
finish. Let Soul
You think
Rebel finish.
AJ was
Yeah,
the
let me
same
talk,
after
man.
the
Let
Ruiz
Soul
win,
Rebel
Let me
bro?
finish.
talk, man.
Dude is a
I know. Okay,
child, bro.
hey,
He doesn't
fellas,
even know
fellas,
how to
fellas,
let. He
Come
doesn't
on,
talk.
bro.
fellas. Hold on. Yes, please. I'm gonna let Soul Rebel finish, and then I'm your leader. Will have a chance to reply. Soul Rebel, go ahead.
Okay, so I've been listening to Dude talk, and once again, Fury's my favorite heavyweight, bro. Period. But the way he's acting in these negotiations is cunty beyond belief. Alexander Usyk has been willing to fight last year and this year. You want to talk about contradictions? Tyson Fury said, "Oh, I'll fight Anthony Joshua for free. We could do it for charity." And then when it comes down to Usyk, oh, it's 70-30, and I'm gonna deduct every day. Dude, look, bro, you might like Fury and everything. But at the end of the day, bro, if you can't see smoke screens, the very bullshit that you're claiming that you hate in boxing is going on right before your eyes, and your undying love for Fury is clouding your fucking vision. And I'm the biggest Fury fan there is, and I can see it, bro.
Hey,
I can
guess
see
what?
it.
I don't take everything Fury says literally like you do, bro.
And I
really
don't either.
He's a
But if you
weirdo,
can't
bro.
call
So
bullshit for
why are
what it
you
is,
over here
bro,
getting all upset about him? Is the fight made or not?
because,
What did
bro,
Don
you gotta
Chingasso
stop,
say?
bro. You're
What did Don
arrogant. You've been
Chingasso
doing what I'm
say?
doing to you. You've been doing to that kid
He
this whole
said the
channel, bro.
fight. He said the
What I'm
fight
doing to you
got
now, you've been
made,
doing to
bro.
that kid this
He
whole
said the fight
channel, and
got
I
made,
got you.
bro.
I
The
got you,
fight got
bro.
made.
He
It's
don't
all
want the
good,
fight.
brother. It's all
April
good.
29,
Fury says a
Wembley
Fury,
lot,
Stadium, bro.
bro. Fury says
Fury,
a lot.
One day Fury wants to
says a
talk
lot,
about
you're right.
retiring. The next day he
okay.
fight a UFC
Yes, he
fighter.
does.
All
He
right.
does.
Now listen. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what
Okay,
we're gonna
why
do.
don't
I'm
you
gonna,
get no
here's what we're
respect,
gonna
bro?
do.
He has
Fellas,
3 of
hold
the
on.
belts,
Fellas,
bro. You know,
Soul
30%.
It's in Wembley
I'm gonna have to mute somebody.
Stadium.
30%.
Hold on.
30% is a mandatory.
Wembley Stadium. Fury won.
Hold on. I gotta mute people. Hold on a second. Hold on.
Yo,
I had to
mute
mute you guys.
that dude. Don't
I
just
had to
let him
mute you.
control
Hold on. Hey, please. I had to mute you, fellas. I had to mute you, fellas, because I gotta read some super chats and it's getting out of hand. So don't take it personal, right? It's for the sake of the audience. There's people listening. There's people listening. All right. Shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing for his contribution to the super chat. He says, Leader's Fury takes Leader's Fury takes as bad as his Ukraine-Russia takes. All right, I don't quite get that statement, but shout out to Official Scorecard Boxing. Who else was here? Paper Tiger says, how dare anybody oppose King Fury? That's Paper Tiger's take. Shout out to Virtuoso, who says, Iamyourleader sounds like he has low T. Okay, well, wait a minute. Okay, so I think that's 3 super chats against Iamyourleader. So I'll let Iamyourleader reply. Iamyourleader, the floor is yours.
All I gotta say, the Fury hate is real. And it's crazy that I'm even close in this debate because, off the jump, people hate Fury right now. How is this debate?
It ain't about hate. It's about logic, bro.
It's
about fairness, bro. It's about fairness, bro. Fury's my favorite fighter. Why is he ducking Usyk? Why is he ducking Usyk, bro?
Shit for fucking an hour, bro. How is this debate 50-50?
Indeed, the debate looks like
he's not asking for 50.
The poll looks like it's 50-50. That's true.
Fury, bro, it's all good. I don't hate Fury. I don't hate Usyk. I hate Al Heyman. I hate that Showtime dropped boxing because of them. I hate all that shit. I don't hate Fury. Why would I hate Fury?
Why are you talking about hating Fury? Nobody's talking about hating Fury, my boy. Nobody hates Fury. Nobody hates Fury. If he's acting like a cunt in the negotiation tables, then that's what it is, bro.
Hold on. I gotta interject once again. You guys are talking over each other. You guys are talking over each other. And I had to mute you guys again. Sorry. Listen, let's get somebody, because you guys are a little bit too heated talking over each other.
So, now I'm winning the debate.
Now you're winning the debate. I love when people claim what they're doing.
Don't make me mute people. Please, don't make me mute.
Let the
Please don't
fans
make me mute you
decide,
guys.
pussy.
Hey, please don't make me mute you. I gotta mute. All right. I want to hear from, because there's a lot of people here now, and I want to hear from other third-party interveners. Let's start with Boxing with Frank Bay. Boxing with Frank Bay, you want to weigh in on this thing?
I think it's a pointless argument. Look, Fury is the ticket seller. It is what it is. You can argue Usyk has the belts, but who's he going to fight and do the same amount of numbers and money? He can go fight, an in-between fight, but where's he going to do it? Who's going to pay for it? It's just that simple.
It's a lack of respect for Usyk. That's what it is. Okay, it's not that Fury's not the A side. He's the A side, but it's the lack of respect.
But let me ask you, who can he go fight for the same amount of money? Tell me that. Who can he go fight and put butts
this is a legacy fight for undisputed. Why we gotta talk about money?
Wait, let me answer.
This is undisputed. What?
Wait, let me answer. Let me answer.
Come on, bro. Y'all go count the paychecks, bro. It's a legacy, bro.
All right, I'm gonna have to intervene. I'm going to have to intervene here.
Let me answer who he could fight.
Let me jump in, bro.
Who wants? Oh, Never Sober wants to jump in.
Same amount of money and put 90,000 people on the seats. Who can use to go fight on his own and headline and do those type of numbers? Go ahead.
Nobody. AJ.
I'm gonna drop mine later.
Okay, hold on. Please, hold on. Sorry. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. Somebody said they had to drop off. Who said that? Is it Iamyourleader?
Probably. I'm not sure.
Okay, I heard somebody say they had.
Can I say something real quick?
All right, X-Mark, go ahead.
He'll do shit for free and everything like that. And this is
my phone's dying, but I just.
And
you know what, bro?
All right, hey, fellas.
I gotta get out of here.
You bunch of animals. Hold on. Everyone's talking over each other. Let's have a little decorum here. Soul Rebel, I hear you gotta go. Go ahead. Final statements from your end.
Hey, look, bro. I understand that the Fury's the A side. I get that. And no debate there. It ain't about hating Fury. It's about the complete lack of respect for Usyk and just keeping Fury on point, bro. just keeping Fury on his toes. The fact that this entire negotiation for the past 2 years, he's just been playing games, bro. Even as a Fury fan, I think you just got to call it. I think you got to be honest about it.
You're
It's not
saying
all about money all the time.
Well, it is, but that's where you're wrong. But you're saying disrespect. Nobody's disrespecting them. He has 3
Why
belts,
do you
and it
say
don't matter.
You don't think I've been listening for the last hour and a half? Dude,
Well,
I
no,
listened to that kid's debate.
the only thing people say is he has these belts, and they don't matter.
Let me jump in here and say something, bro.
They don't matter. Okay, so
let me say something real quick. Wait,
Undisputed
let me
don't
say
matter.
something here, bro.
Beating Joshua don't
KungfuBrandon.
matter.
KungfuBrandon wants to go. KungfuBrandon wants to go.
AJ and make
Yeah, that's
hold
what
on,
I'm
don't
saying.
Vergasos. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold on.
Usyk-
Yeah, Kung Fu, go ahead. Kung Fu, go ahead.
Usyk is not in it for the money.
Kung Fu,
When
go
you're
ahead.
asking,
bro.
when you're asking who could Usyk fight, Usyk could fight Wilder or Joe Joyce. Now I have a question: who could Fury?
And tell him
fight?
go do it. So
could
get off
Fury
what
fight?
Fury's did.
Who
Dude,
could Fury
care
fight?
about-
Usyk's arguably
if
pound
he's that
for
big of
pound
the-
number 2,
Fury
number
will
1,
fight
or number
Otto
3.
Wallin.
Why won't we want the undisputed fight?
Fury will fight Otto
No
Wallin
shit.
again.
Thank you, bro. Now you got some brains talking.
Fury will fight Otto Wallin again.
Hey,
Usyk
thanks,
can fight Otto
BDA.
Wallin.
Thanks, BDA. I gotta go.
Thank you, man. Thank you for jumping on. Okay, let's dial it back a little bit. Let me read a couple of super chats, and then I'll assign somebody who has to go next, make a statement next, because I am indeed.
Let me
the third
jump in
party.
next.
Okay. Shout out to, hold on, was that Vladdy or was there somebody else before? Okay, that was Vladdy. Shout out to Vladdy for his contribution with the super chat. He says 60-40 would have been fair, but knowing Ukrainian boxers, they place the fight before the purse. This legacy fight happens equals we as fans win. Okay, so he's looking at the picture of from the perspective of fans. Fights happening, and we should be happy about that. That being said, I know these guys still have a lot to say about who ducked whom. Let's go with Don Vergasos because I know he wanted to say something. Go ahead, Don Vergasos.
Yeah, nobody's ducking each other, bro. They both want this fight, bro. But the idea that Usyk is in it for the money, bro, that's what I disagree with. Because he did take the 30%, bro, which is a ripoff. But I mean, he wants the.
How is that a ripoff if it's 30% of more than he'll ever get anywhere else?
Okay, let me tell you why. Because he sold 1.2 million with AJ. He sold 1 million pay-per-views with Chisora. He sold 800K pay-per-views with Bellew. So the track record already right there tells me that the guy actually sells, bro. And there's people that are willing to pay for his shit based on the numbers that I just mentioned. And the fact that Usyk took the 30% tells me that he's in it for the undisputed legacy, bro. And I respect both fighters, bro. I'm glad the fight is happening, bro. But when it comes to the negotiations, the person that was making it way harder was Fury, bro. And that's the bottom line.
All right, now I want to hear from Never Sober, by the way, because I know he wanted to jump in as well. Never Sober, I don't know if you're still there. Yeah, okay, go ahead, man.
Let me jump in. Know what I'm saying, let me get one with the ecosystem right here.
All
right. This is what I think about it, bro. I had no doubt that the fight was gonna happen, right? But I had a feeling that Fury is gonna do his little games that he likes to play. He likes to play with everybody. But it was coming to the point where he looked like he was finna duck because he was doing the same shit to AJ. And you guys are saying that these 3 belts don't matter. How the fuck don't 3 belts don't matter? There's no undisputed without those. You know, like that. You guys, that's kind of
no. It's not that they don't matter. It's that what can Usyk do with them? He can't do anything.
Hold on, bro. Y'all are saying they don't matter in the negotiations. They do though because that's a lot of leverage. And Usyk isn't no bum. He's not nobody who got the belts off a lucky title shot. Like I don't want to talk shit about Ruiz, but Ruiz wasn't supposed to get the belts. You know, so it's not like it's a Ruiz situation. And there's lots of guys for Usyk to defend his belt against. Like Vergaso said, he brought up Joe Joyce. How much would that sell in the UK? You don't think they get a lot of numbers? The only place that Tyson Fury will sell a lot is in the UK. So you guys are making it seem as though he's a worldwide superstar. He's not.
Usyk could also fight Wilder.
Huh? Usyk could also fight Wilder, bro. There's names out there for the fight. He can fight Andy. He can fight Hrgovic. But he can fight Zhang Weili. What's that? Big Bang, Zhili Wang, whatever. And
Kung Pao.
I didn't really. I was gonna say, but was this guy Fury? Like I said, I didn't doubt the fight was gonna happen, bro. But he does make shit difficult and he does play games. But that's just him. But to dismiss Usyk like that is silly.
Well, that's because Fury brings the money to the pot. You know, somebody's got to. You said Usyk can do this.
Only in the UK, bro.
Who's gonna pay Usyk? Okay, then who's gonna pay Usyk?
Yo, Usyk has done more than Fury has done.
You have no answer for it.
Top rank.
Who's gonna buy an Usyk fight?
And this is another thing about it. Hold on.
You know,
this is another thing about it, bro. Usyk isn't fucking caught up on money like that, so he'll go wherever the fuck the fight is more meaningful. He's not. Fury's the one that's trying to maximize the pot.
No, but you said these options, but who's gonna pay for it? Like somebody has to pay for it. Like you mentioned. Wait. Let me just say this. We had heard about a Wood or Reeves, but nobody wanted to pay for it, so it's not gonna happen. There has to be people willing to pay for it. There were people willing to pay for Fury and Usyk. Okay, and who's bringing that money? Tyson Fury's bringing that money.
You don't think Saudi Arabia will pay for one of Usyk's fights to try to set him up later on with Fury?
Then let him go do it. And get another bargaining chip. Because you want to act like there's people lining up to buy his fight.
Why should you do that when there's already the undisputed fight right here? And the only reason it wouldn't happen is because Fury's playing games.
Yeah, because Fury's bringing the money. There's people willing because you're not understing the lot.
He's not bringing the money,
Fury's bringing the money. Okay.
Fury's not bringing
the money. Why did he sell less against Chisora than Usyk did?
Who's paying for this fight then? Who's paying for this fight in Wembley?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia's paying for this fight in Wembley. That's your answer. Okay.
Why did people buy
the same people who saw him beat Joshua and
Usyk versus Chisora, bro? If nobody cares,
Fury's people. Fury's the money guy. That's who's paying for the fight.
The point is,
why didn't he generate any money against
Chisora? Whatever he brings.
To make a point.
It's supposed to be 50-50, period.
Here's your opinion,
think
bro.
Frank Warren would pay for Usyk to fight Joe Joyce, bro?
I used a bunch of references, bro, in the numbers. You haven't used one reference, bro, when it comes to Fury's numbers. Just your opinion, bro. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
So who's paying for the fight? Who's paying for this fight then? If Usyk agree, who's paying for it?
You know what a purse bid is, right?
That's what this went to, a purse bid?
No, it didn't.
So who paying for the fight?
That's who paying for the fight.
Who's paying for this fight then? Since you're so adamant, you have all the information.
We don't know yet, bro, because they haven't fucking made it, right?
So who was supposed to pay for it?
Fury's not paying for the fight. Is that what you're trying to imply? Because Fury's not paying for this
Fury's
fight.
people are going to pay for the fight. They're the ones buying them. He's the money. He's bringing the money. So whoever's buying the fight is coming from his side. It's just like
wanted to buy the fight and fucking Fury declined it, bro. So he's
just like Canelo. Canelo, you're acting like Canelo goes around and pays for the fight himself. He doesn't put up the money. It's the backers, his backers. Canelo, people want to back his fight.
You're going off topic, bro. You know, because like you were talking about Frank Warren paying for the fight or Top Rank or whatever, but the Arabs.
No, I'm asking you. Since you have this, you think that Usyk brings all this money. Who's gonna buy? Who's buying his fight? Who's putting up his house?
I said most people are bringing the fucking fans, bro, because it's a fucking undisputed fight, and it wouldn't be undisputed.
So is Usyk's people? They're the ones paying for him, or is it Fury's people who are gonna pay for Usyk? Like they're putting up the purse for Usyk.
It's a whole promotion.
Bro, I told you, bro. I brought references of Usyk's past numbers, bro. Those are the people that are also buying the fight, bro. And you ignore it for whatever fucking reason, bro.
Who paid for who paid for Fury Wilder?
It was the Fury's people, right? They put up his half. Both sides put up the money. So Woodard's people put up his money, and Usyk's people put up his money.
In the offer that Usyk and Fury, both sides put up the money.
So Usyk's people are putting up his side of the money.
Probably, yes.
You said probably, or
yeah, but Usyk made 75.
You're asking us like if we know for sure. Do you know for sure?
That's what you're so sure that Usyk that it's Fury, and I'm saying no. Fury's just he can do that because his people are putting up the money.
Fury's people are paying for everything. What I told you was when it goes to first bid, that's who's paying.
But it's not there yet. Why would you mention something that's not there?
It's the pay-per-view and the ticket sales that are paying for it. What the fuck you talking about?
No, somebody has to put up the purse money, and then it's a business, dude. You put up the money hoping to make a profit.
You're saying Frank Warren is the one putting up money for Fury?
No, Usyk's people. If
when
Fury's
you're
the money guy, people are going to
that means you're paying for the
his
outcome.
purse.
Wait, what are you talking about?
All right. Let me interject here. Hold on. Let me interject. Hold on. Fellas, please. I'm here as a third party intervener. I gotta just say something. I gotta read a super chat. Number one. Shout out to Paper Tiger for his contribution to Super Chat. Says, boxing fans will talk about A-side, but forgetting to mention fights like this in the past would happen a lot quicker. The money should matter as heavy sell no matter what. All right, shout out to Paper Tiger. I seem to agree with that. I mean, people back in the day, even when the mob was around, they seem to make more fights than they do today. That being said, let me go to. But hold on, let me go to. Hold on, I'll let you go. But I just want to set an order. I want to hear from you, Don Vergassos, and then I want to go to Jimmy, who's just jumped in. All right, so Don Vergassos, go ahead, please.
Hey, BDA, all I'm saying is there was two options, bro. It could have been fucking Furious people providing the money for the fight, or it could have been the Arabs, right? The Arabs wanted this fight. And Fury shows the Saudi Arabians, whatever. And Fury shows his fucking promotion. He wants it in the UK. Cool. That's Fury's choice, bro. If they want to provide the pot themselves, that's his fucking choice. But there was another option, Saudi Arabia, bro. So yeah, of course Furious people are bringing in the money because that was their fucking choice, bro. That's all I have to say, bro.
All right, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Jimmy, if you want to weigh in on this, please go ahead. It's a lot of mayhem here today.
Yeah, I'll just be brief. I really don't have a dog in the fight either way. I mean, I never really I don't know why. I just didn't think this fight was going to happen. I had no reason to believe that. But I can just say this. If you go, I went to see the talking heads in England, and a lot of one time, or I don't know if they still are, but supporters of Fury, respectable, guys who cover boxing in England, and a lot of them are just straight up saying Fury's just playing way too many games. And if you look, there's one consistent, what's the one consistent denominator, the one common denominator in this? It's the same thing with Joshua. You have 24 hours to give me a fucking answer or the fight's done. Like, there's always playing games. All I know is this: if you were going to fight him for free, which you stated multiple times, you know what I mean? He was a blown up middleweight. He's nothing. You'd pounce him. All these insults.
He said that about AJ, not Fury. He said that about AJ.
He said about Usyk he would trounce him.
I didn't hear that, man. I heard the AJ one.
Yeah, so but the point is, dude, if you're that confident of your abilities, dude, just make the motherfucking fight. Split the thing, and you get in order to have that. In order to have a undisputed heavyweight fight, you need the guy with the other 3 belts. You have one, yes, you bring more seats. Like, nobody's going to deny all those factors you said. But if you want to make this fight, now his people are saying that they might go with Andy Ruiz. I just got to say this. This one thing I can say in confidence. That fight would be a joke. It won't sell. That would be a terrible fight as a replacement for Usyk. I just don't know where he goes. I mean, what is he going to do? Fight Chisora for a 4th time? He just hasn't looked good. My point is, you don't win off Klitschko. Put yourself on the shelf for 2 years. Come back, fight one opponent 3 times, and then get mentioned in the same names as Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali. Well, ducking a guy you got fucking 6 inches and 100 pounds on, or 80 pounds on. It's just not a good look for Fury, no matter what. And I have nothing against Fury. I just want to state that. I'm done.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. Okay. I didn't want to rush you, but okay. Now I'm curious though. I'm confused rather, because now I'm hearing here, and this was 3:45 p.m. Eastern time. That's 3 hours ago. Maybe they changed it. Usyk said he accepted the 30%, but then he demanded that Fury donate to Ukraine. I don't think Fury's gonna do that. So are we still at a standstill here, or have they agreed to terms?
It's been reported that both sides agreed. But what he said is Fury has to donate $1 million to Ukraine. And for every day that goes past, he has to donate 1% of his purse to Ukraine. That he doesn't agree to it.
Well, okay. Well, they have agreed to the terms. I want to see it on paper. Because we remember how many times have we ever seen that, right? Agree to terms. And then whoopsie-daisy, fights are happening, and Thurman's fighting Spence, and Crawford's fighting fucking Rocha. Come on, let's make this fight happen. That's all I'm saying. Boxing
even Fury fans...
Even two guys, if any of you guys got money in the bank, do what I just did. We just went to our 3 banks we're associated with. That's what I was doing right before this thing. We took all our money out of the bank. It's like banks are collapsing today in the U.S.
No, it was only one bank. It was only one bank.
Yeah, but dude, when is it only one? And it's the biggest bank in Silicon Valley. In history shown, usually when one bank goes down, there's usually not many behind them. So
I'm in Silicon
on the safe side, pull them all out. It's all of it's trending on Twitter right now. And check this out: the CEO of that bank sold $4.4 million of his stocks in the bank 2 weeks before it went under.
Wow.
You think that was by accident?
What was this?
I think the bank over leveraged itself.
Just don't tell anybody where you live, Jimmy. Don't tell anybody where you live, because then you're walking around with a bunch of cash.
Well, it's the Silicon Valley Bank.
No, nothing to hide.
It's a very popular story. But
hey, by the way, okay, just real quick. As per Mike Coppinger from ESPN, 5:39 p.m. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk agreed to terms on title fight. So, like somebody else had said in the panel here, yes, indeed, they've agreed to the terms. Now we just want to see it on paper. That's all we ask. All right, I want to hear from Boxing Chief 2, who just got here. Chief, are you there? Chief, don't leave me hanging here,
sir.
man. Oh, good. Hope you're doing fine as well. What are your thoughts on this? You want to weigh in on this?
Oh, no. I just joined in not too long ago. I'm hearing stuff about the Fury Usyk, and Fury's got to give this much plus owes this much to Ukraine. But I don't see him doing that kind of stuff. I can see the fight being negotiated, signed, and done according to Mike Carpenter, who most of us don't trust. But I can say that these kind of ridiculous stipulations, the outside of you're going to have to donate this much to charity, this, that, and the other. I don't see either one of these guys going through and doing too much of that. They'll agree to terms, but this other extra stuff, I don't see that part happening.
All right. Who else wants to go, man? Who wants to weigh in on this whole Fury Usyk thing?
Hello.
Didn't Fury lie about donating before the charities?
Possibly.
He said he gave his whole purse against Wilder to charity.
I'm saying, but he also provided no proof afterwards, right? And that there was no charity that said thank you to him publicly, like they would have.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I am your leader in the chat. I am
the left hand what he's doing.
I am your leader in the chat says, nice try, Kung Fu. What's going on? I'm your leader. Is it popping off again? You guys want to go for round 2?
No, what's it called? Yeah.
You guys want to go for round 2?
Just the poll closed. I just saw that the poll closed. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I closed the poll because I didn't want it to take up space. But I think, we got to read the results. It was, I am your leader was winning the poll. So we left it up to the people. But again, hey, listen, you guys were gracious enough to jump on. Not everybody does it. I don't know why. It's not like it's a big deal to jump on this panel, and we try to keep it fair. So shout out to you guys for joining the debate. Really appreciate it. And it's a very explosive situation, let me tell you. Fury versus Usyk. Look, I just want the fight to happen. Like Chief said, like somebody else in the chat had said, let's just as long as the fight gets made. However, I don't want to be a
shout
negative.
Out to the champ.
That's right. I don't want to be a negative Nancy. That being said, I don't know why I'm expecting, everybody agrees to the terms. But then what happens if something else comes up? I don't like this. I don't like that on the contract. Or what happens if, God forbid, somebody gets injured? So that's why they got to make the fights as soon as possible. No prevarication. Stop stalling. Make them now so that nothing happens. No injuries. And we can get the fights as soon as possible. That's all I'm saying.
I think I saw it from 2 different sources. And one of them said that the deadline is now over because the fight is agreed to against Daniel Dubois. I'm not sure though.
Well, the deadline was 5 p.m. Eastern time, I think. Oh no, actually, it might have been European time. So yeah, it probably collapsed a long time ago. But now that the signal was going to recycle itself. But of course, now, like you said, if it's a moot point, who gives a shit? Let me ask you this though.
The sanctioning body said that.
I think it will just clear that Usyk won.
Yeah, that's true, Don Vergassos. That could have been.
I think it will just clear that Usyk clearly wanted the fight more.
And going back to that.
Fury just sent another lowball offer, hoping that the person wouldn't accept it. And it got accepted.
I mean, Usyk isn't somebody who complains about money, right? Him and Lomachenko are like that. They just want the fights, bro.
I'm just like, historically, it's been very easy to make fights with Usyk.
Yeah. And with Fury, he did the same thing. He did the same bullshit to AJ, where he's making up new stipulations every day and shit. He likes just jerking people around and shit.
Hey, let me get
I think he's scared.
Let me get Gonzalo in here. I just saw he's here. Gonzalo, you there? You want to weigh in on this?
BDA, just make the fights happen. That's a good thing. Stop jerking around because going in circles too much makes people dizzy. Then they don't want to watch the fights. They lose interest.
That's right. Yeah, if you got a dizzy person in front of you, they give the cash to the wrong person. Happens all the time. It's an old gypsy trick in the old in the old, not gypsy Irish travel. I'm talking actual fucking gypsy Arab, bazaar, Turkish bazaar type of thing. All tricks. They got all sorts of tricks over there. And then if they accuse you of stealing, they cut your hands off. I mean, come on, man. That's going a little overboard, if you ask me. That being said, let's say the fight is happening. Who wants to give their early prediction on how the fight goes?
I got Usyk by 12-round unanimous decision. I think his work rate is too much. I think Fury looked really good against someone like Wilder, who kind of sucks, and he looked like a fat slob in that third fight. I don't feel like he looks so great against Chisora, but I mean, this was a little bit like a year after Usyk fought him. I know people are gonna say, "Oh, look what Chisora did to Usyk," right? Because he gave him a hard fight. But I don't think Fury's gonna be able to catch him, bro. I think he likes playing with that booger sugar too much, and I think it's gonna be his downfall. So I got Usyk, 12 rounds, UD.
All right, Never Sober giving us an early prediction. Who else wants to go? Who feels confident enough in the guy they're ring?
I think I would pick Tyson Fury. He could fence with Usyk from the outside and uses the longer length as an advantage to score points and win a boxing fight from the outside once again. And on the inside, he could rustle and tussle like he did versus Chisora and throw that mean uppercut that he threw against Dillian White. So on the inside and the outside, I think I would favor, not through the whole course of the fight, but enough to win him the majority of the rounds. I would favor Tyson Fury.
Well, I think Kung Fu wanted to go too. Kung Fu, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I have Usyk by 11th round stoppage.
Whoa!
I think if you watch the third Wilder fight, those times when Wilder hit Fury to the body, that discombobulated Fury. He had to go back and rethink what he just did. And now Fury is fatter now. His body isn't as strong as it used to be. I think Usyk's gonna destroy him to the body.
Well, let me ask that question. Do you guys think he's gonna show up as fat as he did against Deontay Wilder, or is he gonna show up to like the Klitschko weight, which was about 250, I think? Like he was looking lean in that one.
I think he's gonna be in between.
In between.
Yeah, like
probably
260.
Klitschko type of weight, in my opinion.
I think he'll be.
What is Usyk gonna do when Fury leans on him? Because this guy Fury is not AJ. If you're basing on that,
He's gonna move. Well said.
Eventually, he's gonna get cornered. You're talking about a 6 foot guy, a 6'9" guy that has a tremendous reach. You can't run forever, and he did get hurt against even Joshua when he let his hands go hurt. Usyk.
Is he really 6'9" though? But is he
Joshua
really?
is way harder than Fury.
Is he really?
Joshua is way harder than Fury.
Didn't Usyk get hurt to the body
fellas.
against Joshua, bro?
Wait,
is he really 6'9" though?
Let's point out one thing.
Joshua hits harder than Fury.
Let's point out one thing. Neither of these guys is the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, punch for punch. They're either accumulation shots, or in Fury's case, like he's been done later, wearing you out with his size and then using what quote pseudo power he has. Neither one of these guys are going to turn a fight around with one punch.
Pseudo power.
None of you guys have mentioned work rate yet.
That's why he leans
Usyk's
on
gonna outwork his ass, bro.
Here's the thing. To the one that said Fury's just gonna lean on him. Usyk is really good at fighting against guys who lean on him. Look at the Chisora fight. He may not be the same height as Fury, but he's roughly the same weight, around like 260s and things of that nature. And he tried to lean on Usyk all he wanted. Usyk was so easy to slip right off of him and then just jab.
How much did he weigh? Who's the guy that tried it? How much did he weigh?
He was like 250s, 260s.
Okay, we're talking about 290, a 290 pound man. That's not the same thing.
Dude, I don't know who's mentioning that about the leaning, but I'm on the same page as him because I've been saying this on the live chat from the panel, and this goes all the way back to when we first announced Usyk and Joshua. Back when Precise was with us, he was pointing out the fact that leaning on him with the size and everything like that's the way for Joshua to win, but that's not in his nature. That's not in his style. That's not in his mentality. That's not in his proficiency. He doesn't have that. Now, the opportunities were there in both fights to do that, but it's not in his makeup. It is in Fury's. So
but that's
opportunities are there. Let me finish real quick. If those opportunities are there, like they were for Joshua, which Joshua has no IQ acclimate to be able to execute, but Fury does, that's going to alter how that fight's going to go unless Usyk is able to adapt and come up with a solution to that. And I'm not saying he can't. What I'm saying is that no one's forced him to fight a fight like that before, especially if the opportunities were there at heavyweight. And if they are there, Fury is going to capitalize on those.
He did, but the thing is, my goodness, I can't believe I'm debating with you. This is very rare. But it happened with the Chisora fight. If you rewatch that Chisora fight, he did try to lean on him, and he's roughly, like I said, the same weight as Fury. And another thing that people are trying to mention with the reach and stuff, here's the thing. I don't know if it's because Fury's not as motivated, but in his last two fights, he's not looking as fast as he used to. And I'm not even including the Wilder fight. I'm including the Dillian White fight and the Chisora 3 fight. Fury's speed has been on a decline. And I don't know if it's from a lack of motivation against fighting those guys, but he's going to need that speed back.
I got a question, though. And you guys are making good points here. Before I ask the question, I don't think Tyson Fury is 6'9". They exaggerate. You guys got to remember, they exaggerate the statistics for entertainment purposes. It's like it's WWE or something. That being said, he's still bigger than Usyk. Let's not get it twisted. Now, you guys are mentioning whether he can grab on to Usyk, because as Chief pointed out, yes, Joshua is not that type of guy, Fury is. But flip side to that coin, can Fury walk him down? Can he catch Usyk? Because when Usyk fought Chisora, he was able to dart in and out 12 rounds. He's got one of the best gas tanks in the world and some of the best footwork in the boxing. So what do you fellas think? Is that a possibility?
Well, he didn't
It's
seem
a
like he's able to dart
possibility.
in and out. Whoa. He didn't seem like he's able to dart in and out for 12 rounds against Joshua. So somewhere between Chisora and Joshua, his legs don't seem like, especially with putting on that weight that he's got, doesn't seem like he's able to maintain it for 12 straight rounds against the upper echelon guys. And if he can, then I have no doubt he can win. I know how smart he is. I know how good he is. I know how good of a punch he can take. And even though he doesn't have knockout power, he has enough power to offset your timing by just jarring your head with jabs and punches you're not ready for. Kind of like his, I won't say predecessor, but his countryman, Lomachenko. But if he can, which I haven't seen him since Chisora, be able to dart in and out for 12 straight rounds, because he didn't do it. He didn't do it for 12. He didn't do it in 24 rounds straight against Joshua. And we're talking about a bigger guy that is going to look to lean and mug. That's going to be Fury's biggest game plan. He might try to move around like he did against Klitschko and use a jab and move and use footwork and let Usyk walk into shots, which I think is a terrible idea. I don't think it's going to work, but he may try that. The second it doesn't, he's going to try and use his size and try to mug him. And if anybody in the heavyweight division can mug Usyk, if being the key word, it will be Fury.
But I got a question about that though, because now my OCD is kicking in here. Just to point out one thing, you said he didn't do that against Joshua for 24 rounds because he didn't need to. Joshua wasn't pressuring him. So I don't know if he can still.
No,
I don't know if he can still do it.
That's a good point. So he didn't do it because he didn't have to. Is the argument you're bringing back? And I've got nothing against that one.
No, but
that's a fair statement.
But there's always a flip side to anything. That the Chisora fight was 3 years ago, or it's going to be 3 years in October. So your point still might stand. I mean, it's we don't know if he can.
What age is Fury? Is Usyk closing in on?
I think 35,
37.
I think. Yeah.
Am I adding too many years? I know he's getting up there. So now Fury's kicking. Fury's approaching 34, 33 or 34. So I mean, this needs to happen this year to get anywhere close to a peak and prime of either guy, because they're both getting older.
Look, people crowned this Usyk guy for beating AJ, which is a good win, but AJ's a fraud. Fury's a much better fighter than AJ will ever be.
Is that Frank?
I used to think that
we're on the same page for a change.
I used to think that
we usually are. You just have your bias. Okay.
I changed my mind already, bro. I think Fury beats Usyk, bro, because how I had it was that Usyk could work on Fury's body, right? Like he could work the body to slow him down and all that because it's always there. He's the smaller guy. But I have never really seen Usyk do that against anybody. So why would I think that he's gonna start doing it against Fury? And
he did it.
that's that's like the key for me for Usyk to beat Fury. So now I'm thinking Fury's gonna kick his ass, bro, because he actually got the good footwork himself, and he's got a good jab. If Usyk if Usyk could start working the body and working angles on Fury and all that shit, then yeah, Fury's gonna be in trouble. But I don't. It's hard, bro. It's hard, especially since I never seen it from Usyk. But yeah, go in.
No, I mean, look, these are the two best guys. I mean, the other guys, AJ and Woodard, they've been proven frauds. These are the two best fighters, period, hands down. And but the thing about Fury, he's invincible right now. He has the aura of Tyson right now. Once Tyson got beat, he was no longer Tyson, Mike Tyson. But once Fury's still invincible, and that carries weight.
Would you guys agree
it's a
with
hard thing for Usyk too. Fury, no, he's not invincible.
No, I'm saying he has the aura, the way Mike Tyson, the way certain fighters have that aura of invincibility until they get beat. This is what this Fury guy is. He's the king. He's the man.
But Gonzalo, you want to go in on Gonzalo? You want to go in on that?
Yeah. No, not really. I don't think he's invincible. Nobody's invincible.
No, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying the same way people looked at Mike Tyson with the aura of invincibility. It's just the same way people look at some of these undefeated
you can say
guys.
the same thing about Usyk. He hasn't lost. He was undisputed, and he's unified.
The aura, or nobody else is going to be in the ring when you fight. I mean, you could have this aura or mystique about you, but at the end of the day, the ring's going to find you out. Whether
I'm saying, look, Fury took the hardest puncher in boxing of the last 20 years, maybe ever. With Deontay Wilder, he got up from that. So who's going to beat this guy?
Well, I'm curious.
You know what? Also, now that you mentioned that, Usyk's got an aura about himself too. These Eastern Europeans, especially Usyk, undefeated, fucking travels the world. As small as he might be, he always goes in. He always goes in there to win, and he does. Motherfucking tough guy, motherfucking guy that's like unbreakable. You get the sense about him too. It's not just Fury, right?
Yeah, I think I see it. Like, I know Usyk kind of struggled with Joshua in the rematch a little bit more, even when it was more or less of the same score, the same amount of rounds that he won. It's just that Joshua made him work a little more to get those rounds. But I agree with Gonzalo. You can see that more from Usyk. He's beaten all of his biggest wins from the undisputed cruiserweight run all the way up to now. He's fought all the big names in their hometowns. He's beat them on points, which in these days it's just like, wow, if you beat a guy in his hometown on points, that's big. Great skill set. And with Fury, he struggled. Like, let's not forget about that Otto Wallin fight. Let's not forget about how
fighters have tough fights. What's wrong with that? Like, you can bring up anybody's resume. There's not a single fighter that hasn't had a tough fight and looked vulnerable.
That's what I'm.
So those are kind of irrelevant points.
But hold up, let me finish. As Tony Ferguson would say, hold on, brother, let me finish. But as I was saying, I think I could see that more from Usyk than I could from Fury, so I would agree with Gonzalo on that. But hey, I could be wrong. Let's see how this fight goes, because in heavyweight, one punch can change everything. But if you're asking me, I'm gonna say Usyk, UD, maybe a late stoppage.
Yeah, I understand people would pick Usyk, but look, he has an uphill battle, and it is what it is. You can think he's a great boxer and he does all these great things, but it's going to be a bigger challenge for him. He has the fight of his life in front of him, whereas Fury is pretty much the favorite, and will probably be dominant.
Yeah, I was saying that if you want to go down that route, you could also say that Usyk got a mystique or an aura about him, but in reality, I don't agree that this whole aura is gonna, like, when it comes down to, especially these two guys facing each other, which they're both tough dudes. I get it, but eventually, I'm saying, nobody's invincible, and Usyk got a lot of problems to deal with. He got to eat like 6 times a day just to keep the weight. He's been having injuries too, so I mean, he's been plagued with injuries just trying to work out and be a big guy. So it's not the same for him either. Yeah, for either guy.
This aura of invincibility that you're referring to, because since you brought in Mike Tyson, I want to try and make a comparison to where people can kind of get, and hopefully I'm I'm helping you out with your point. But there is a difference. Tyson's aura of invincibility is that most fans that didn't know how to study the sport as much as we do now couldn't find a weakness in Tyson's game. They thought that he was unbeatable because they couldn't find a way of anyone or see the talent anyone else around to be able to pull off this upset. No one could see it happening. No one thought that Holyfield could do it. No one thought,
right?
47-1 thought that Douglas couldn't do it. Very few people thought that Ruddock could do it, and those were the only ones around at the time. Bo and Lewis hadn't really established themselves yet. So back to this, there's because Fury is big and lumbersome, or he appears that way, and he's deceptively quick and everything else. People don't really study him to see what his athleticism is capable of doing. So this quote unquote aura, this vision that people think that he's unbeatable. This is what Gonzalo, I'm guessing, is saying, is the fact that that opinion is not quite there as much because they think that he's sloppy. They don't think he can punish as much. They think that he doesn't train as hard. So this aura of invincibility, based off the fact that he's gone up against Wilder more than once and Klitschko, I see where that's coming into play. But very few people are going to sit there and go, yeah, man, there ain't anybody out there that can beat this guy, because there are a lot of people that believe that Usyk is skilled enough to do this. So I see where both of you are coming from.
I've got a question for you. I've got a question for you, dirty pirates. Straight pirates, by the way, not the gay kind. If, let's say, let's hope this doesn't happen, but let's say neither Fury nor Usyk, they don't fight each other. Let's say they don't fight each other, and they fight other guys, the top guys, within the next 3 years. Who is more likely to lose within those next 3 years, fighting other people other than themselves, Fury or Usyk? Who takes the first loss?
Usyk.
It would have to be Olesander, yeah.
Repeat the question.
If Fury and Usyk don't fight each other within the next 3 years, they fight everybody else. Who loses first within those 3 years?
I think Usyk would test himself more, but I think Fury would lose to Joe Joyce. And Fury has
BDA, it goes back to what the Chief just said. It's like you're looking at who has the skills and the talent to beat this Fury guy, right? That's what you're saying. Who's more likely to lose? We don't see anybody because the names that are out there, Wilder and AJ, and I guess this Joyce guy. I mean, the Joyce guy has a threat, but is he as skilled as either one of these guys?
Hell.
So nobody can really beat this Usyk guy and this Fury guy. Like, they are the best of the best.
I think Joyce walked on Fury.
There's nobody within 5 years of coming onto the heavyweight landscape that I see that is as talented as these two.
The reason why I say neither one of them will lose is because I think Fury's not going to risk anything he will fight the easiest fights possible to make sure he doesn't lose. Now, let me not say that he's going to cherry pick the weakest opposition necessarily, but if he's between Joe Joyce and somehow or another, Charles Martin gets back up there in the rankings, he's going to go with Charles Martin. And he's going to sit there, I'm linear champion. Oh, the WBC is going to go away. I'll win it back later. He's not going to, and like someone else said, Usyk will challenge himself more. So that he has the greater risk of losing within those 3 years because he'll find challenges for himself. But I think Usyk will be the one to lose first, basically because age and amateur career will catch up. If 3 years from now, the wear and tear on the body, it will be him based off of the X factors, not because of the opponent. I don't think Fury's going to put himself in a situation where he's going to let himself get upset by someone by not focusing. He'll find someone that, like Roy Jones, may be a lesser opponent, but someone that he can motivate himself to fight. Because Roy was taking on, guys down at middleweight or light heavyweight because he just wasn't motivated to fight Bernard Hopkins. That was what the history was. Fury will do the same thing. If I'm not going to fight Usyk, then I'm going to fight the next guy that I can motivate myself to train hard enough to win. And I won't, and it may not be the best guy. That's what I'm trying to say. So if this guy I can motivate myself to look good with, even though he's a safer bet, that's where I'm going to go. And that's what Fury's going to do.
I got to tell you, man, this fight, I don't expect it to be entertaining, but I want to see it just because finally, they need to make it happen. Otherwise, it's all going to be a what if. And I cannot live with what ifs. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm not like Frank Sinatra where I can just look at the past and say, hey, I don't look back on it. No, I need to see this fight. That being said, if the fight is boring and let's say Usyk edges it by being, it's a slug clinch fest, or Fury wins it via clinch fest, whatever. Would you guys want to see a rematch, or would it be like, fuck this, man? Let's just move on. And what can
No,
Usyk
there's
even,
too many other good fights out there.
for example?
It will be no rematch.
Joe Joyce and
Usyk gonna
Wilder,
smoke him.
you could throw them all in a hat. There's great fights.
So would Fury still
Ruiz,
continue?
Dragovich.
Would Fury continue fighting after Usyk, and
Yes.
vice versa?
I think probably go the what's the what do you call those guys? The arm boxers. He's gonna fight one of those guys.
Oh boy.
He's gonna fight Francis Ngannou.
Oh. Now,
Yeah,
wait a
he'll go
minute,
that
please.
route. That's what I see.
Hey,
Fury
but
doing.
it's no rematch. It will be no rematch. Usyk gonna beat him. He has the style to beat Tyson Fury. Well, why you think Tyson Fury been overpricing himself, playing the A side bullshit and all this? Come on, man. Usyk beats him, man. I really think so.
I mean,
We could debate that. We could debate that. I would debate anybody. I'll debate anybody. It doesn't matter about ticket sales, bro. What about the fight?
Kumite. Am I getting vibes here that Boxing Chief and Dream Team want to go at it? Is that what I'm getting at here?
Oh, that 150? Man, I hadn't talked to you forever. How you been, man?
Don't try to play friendly now, Boxing Chief. Don't try to play friendly now. Man. I'm not going at it.
That's my guy.
There's zero bad blood between me and 150.
Yeah. That's my guy, bro. I respect Boxing.
No, seriously, though. I mean, look, I haven't studied the international this, that, or the other numbers that some of these guys were talking about, so I'm not going to go too deep into something that I have to stop and redo research on. But the person is going to be, when you have the press conferences and the world tour to try and get things going, the one that's going to be getting everyone to pay attention is going to be Fury, because he's loud, he's obnoxious, and that sells tickets. It always has. That's what Muhammad Ali did. That's what Mike Tyson did in his own way. That's what Floyd Mayweather did. Very few fighters didn't have to do that. There are very few Ray Leonards and Manny Pacquiao's that could just show up and people want to see them because of what they could do in the ring. Usually there was some kind of antics he needed to do to help sell. And that's never going to be Usyk. Again, I don't know his international numbers. The numbers he did in England, you got to remember he was fighting Joshua. Joshua does big numbers in England. He was a national hero for a while. I have no idea what he is now, but at one point in time, he could fight me, and he would have gotten 1 million pay-per-view hits. So Usyk doesn't get those numbers just because he won those fights. That's not a winner-take-all situation. He wasn't the reason why he was a factor, but not the main reason why those numbers were so high. So then when you put him in with someone like Tyson Fury, who's really going to be selling the event? It's not going to be Usyk. As much as I love the guy, and I like the way he fights, I like his character, he's not going to be the one selling the tickets. His name might, but he himself isn't going to bring any charisma to that event. It's all going to be
I
Fury.
said that earlier. Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
He's been promoting it. He's been promoting it more than Fury so far.
So tell him to go headline his own mega fight.
He did against
he's selling
Chisora.
it before the fight sign doesn't really mean much, because that's just so now you're building up a hype. I get what you're saying, but now that the fight is supposedly signed and we're thinking the fight's going to go through, what's he going to do from here? When the press conferences come in, is he's just going to sit there with that look on his face, how serious he is, and just stare him down and everything? That doesn't sell tickets.
No, I agree with that.
It's undisputed. That's what's gonna sell. So
I agree with that, though, bro. Tyson Fury will be the one to sell the fight. He's just gonna talk a lot of shit, bring the fans in, try to start some bad blood. But Usyk not gonna talk that much. And remember, his fucking English ain't good. That's not his native language, bro.
So it's gonna do good numbers just based on the titles and the legacy.
His English has gotten better.
Obviously, drama sells. So if there's drama, maybe more tickets will be sold. But most people are in it for the undisputed fight, bro.
Hey, you know what Usyk should do, by the way, in the build-up to the fight? Usyk, in the build-up to the fight, should just go in there and let Fury talk, and then when it's his turn to talk, just speak in Ukrainian. And then leave Fury, that's going to creep him out. He's going to leave Fury thinking, what's this big Tossa saying? That's all you got to do, man. It seems like an Ivan Drago type thing.
Yeah, but then laugh. Like, say something, then just, laugh, look and laugh at him.
Or even better, start speaking in tongues. And then start snake handling and shit. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm a good promoter, man. I know how to promote. I think he should go ahead and do that. But anyway, listen, I don't do it for free.
That's what the Duvas did with Livingston Bramble.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was talking about how satellites were causing global warming or something. He's like, that guy was fucking insane. But listen, when this fight happens, if it happens, which again I'm dubious about it, will any of these guys get to the pound for pound list? Because I know some people say, "Oh, heavyweights just shouldn't get in the pay-per-view on the pound for pound list." What do you guys feel about that?
They'll work the way in
Absolutely.
there, but I don't see them getting to like the 8. I think that Usyk will get to the A level top, being a second undisputed. Because let's face it, since the one championship split into 2 belts, and since those 2 belts split into the WBC and WBA, and they didn't stay unified between champions. Obviously, there were no 2 division undisputed champions after everything split, right? So once WBC and WBA became 2 different entities and they were no longer unified under one champion, the only 2 division undisputed champion is Evander Holyfield. So there hasn't been one since him, especially in the 3 or 4 belt era. So if Usyk's able to do this, then yeah, he will probably fly up higher because it's going to be like Fury's never been undisputed. He's been lineal, and he's held a lot of the belts, and he stopped a major landmark from happening because if Klitschko would have won that fight, he would have found a way to cruise his way to 26 title defenses and broken Joe Louis's records.
Immediate. I'm gonna ask rhetorical. Why not? I mean, the main thing we complain about is the best not fighting the best. These are the 2 best guys are gonna fight each other. Absolutely. And this is where I'm gonna piss a fanboy off. You have a guy like Crawford fighting Avenesian and Rocha back to back, but he's number 1 pound for pound. Get the fuck out of here.
The fuck out of here. You know what?
So.
Yo, for a while I had Usyk number 1 pound for pound only because he moved up in weight. He's not a career heavyweight, so and Crawford, man, that dude fight once a year, man. He can't be
this
the
best fighting. This is the best versus the best.
My number 1.
Did you guys see that? Did you see that? It's Espinoza confirmed what Papa Ennis said, that the reason why they're fighting Del Rocha, one of the reasons is Boots Ennis turned down the Crawford fight. Well, just wanted nothing to do with it. Black Prime reached out, made an offer to Ennis. So the fact that his father's now running around saying, "Oh, Ennis didn't want, Crawford didn't want to fight us," is just more bullshit. Black Prime made an offer. Espinoza has confirmed they did make an offer, but we just ignored it. Pretty much is what he said. So when next time you see Ennis saying that, yeah.
Before we get into that, before we get into that, excuse me, before we get into that, I gotta read a super chat because then we're gonna divert. I want to see if people still got something to say about Fury Joshua. Fury Usyk. If not, we move on. Shout out to J Nels for his contribution with the super chat. Oh, he's got the old school Batman on the avatar, and he says, "What's the heavyweights boxing scene gonna look like in 5 years? Only prospects worth a damn I can think of are Jared Anderson and maybe Richard Torres." Well, let me tell you something, Jay Nils. I would actually invert the order. I think Richard Torres is has the potential to become more of a star than Jared Anderson. Be that as it may, those 2 guys, it's true but there's always somebody, like Butch was saying in the chat, there's always somebody else that comes along that you least expect in the heavyweight division. Could be from Europe. Doesn't necessarily have to be Jared Anderson or Richard Torres from the United States, aka Mexico, whatever. Could be from, I didn't say aka, I meant / could be somebody from Europe too. So what do you guys think about that? Is there anybody on the horizon here that you know about that we don't, that could come out as the next big star?
That's what I said. That's why I said these 2 are the best.
His name is Jalalov, and he's a really good
Yeah,
fighter.
that guy. He's pretty good. Left-handed. He's like 6'7".
How old is he though? How old is he? I think, is he...
27, 28, somewhere around that area.
Well, they could make it work.
He could be a future champion.
Yeah, they could make it work if he's. Let me check. He's. They don't even tell you his age in fucking Wikipedia, man. I don't want to go on box right. 27, but yeah, even whether he's 27, he could still work, right? I mean, these heavyweights, at 34, they're still good to go. It's not like
but he's pretty slim. Like the names Torres and Jared, they're small. They're not these massive 6'5", 250 plus guys. I mean, what is Jared Anderson? 6 something, less than 220.
Jared Anderson will have problems with Jalalov. It won't even be funny. Like if anyone's gonna beat him, like out of all the up and comers, it's gonna be Jalalov.
Yeah, I think he's the best at all of them. I think he sleeps both Torres and Anderson.
It's not always gonna be. It's not always gonna be the Giants that keep dominating, and they never really have dominated. After like Emmanuel Stewart said a long time ago before he passed away. Obviously,
it's been 20 years.
Well, let me finish.
Lewis,
Emmanuel Stewart, before he passed away, he said after 6'5", after 6'5" fighters start to lose their coordination, and it's true. They never really dominated. Look, Usyk's champion right now too. He's got the 3 belts. So when people speak about this complete domination by the Giants, when you see a guy that's over 250, 60 pounds, he's the guy. He's never been that guy. 100%.
Yeah, but here's the difference is that if you're Tyson Fury, you look at the Giants that did Klitschko, Fury, they just have to make a slight adjustment. So they all went to the Kronk, right? Klitschko, Lewis, and Fury, and all they just had to make a slight adjustment. If you're a smaller guy, you better be that guy. It's going to be an uphill battle. So they're always going to have the advantage, and they just have to make maybe a slight adjustment here or there.
The difference is that the smaller guy got the advantage on the inside if he can get past.
No, but I'm saying the last 20 years have been dominated by these Giants, and they always had, like you said, they have a fatal flaw, but they can tweak it and get better because that's what they all did. Lewis had to tweak it because he had some issues. He went with Emmanuel Stewart. So did the Klitschko. And then you see Fury. They all did the same thing. They tweaked it because they were having issues, like you said. So it is a truism, but it's a lot easier for these bigger guys to make that adjustment than, say, these smaller guys to have to beat these Giants. They have to be extremely skilled.
Everything above like 220. No, everything about 220 is a hard punch, like really hard punch that could take out any guy. 200 plus. You're really hitting hard. And what I'm saying, these giant guys, there's a lot of space in between, a lot of room in between those long ass arms, and they tend to get tired in some cases. A giant would, I would also assume.
You just completely missed the point that I said.
It's not just about the Kronk Jing having the special formula that nobody just like any person could have the answer for.
Because I see a lot of people.
It's not like one guy has like the magic formula. No, a smaller dude that's above 200 pounds can land the right punch and knock the fucking giant out. In any case,
a lot of people saying Richard Torres doesn't have a high ceiling based on his size. But I mean, you're just looking at the size. You're not looking at the skill. They say the same shit about fucking Andy Ruiz. He's only 6'1". He's fat. Look at him. He became unified champ. They said the same shit against
David Tua, Andy Ruiz, Ray Mercer, Mike Tyson.
Right now, bro.
Maybe somebody could help and explain it to these guys what I'm saying.
No, I understand, bro. Don't think that I'm not.
I understand too.
A good little man.
But I'm not just gonna say, okay, it's written forever.
With everything you say and all that shit, bro. When there's more to it in boxing, bro, than just fucking size, bro.
Yeah, there's more to it. It's not just like one thing.
Bro, size does not matter in a fight, bro. You got fighters like Lomachenko, Manny Pacquiao. These dudes were small fighting in weight classes well over their size, bro.
That's a separate conversation. We're talking about the heavyweight division.
Hold on. It's the same with Usyk, bro. It's the same with
Usyk. Everybody quiet down. One at a time. Gonzo, we've got your point, and 150, you kind of heard too. So, Frank.
By the way, real quick. Sorry, Chief. Sorry, I gotta go. You guys are taking charge, the elders of the council. So keep doing that because I gotta go for 5 minutes, right? So Chief and Gonzalo and Jimmy, please take over. You're the elders. I'll be right back. Thanks.
Roger that. Thank you, sir. So let me step in, Frank. Let me know if I'm trying to help make your point. So we know that size doesn't matter in boxing. Skill. There's the saying. Power thrills, speed kills, timing beats speed. So that all goes around technique and skill. We all know this, okay? What I'm hearing Frank say that I've also noticed is that you go all the way back until 1999, and everyone's been 6'5" or higher. And highly skilled guys like Evander Holyfield, like Chris Bird, like heavyweights like that could not beat these giants. Now, that's not to say there's not a smaller one that can't come around and do that, but at the moment, there hasn't been anyone to be able to show enough skill to offset the size of these giants, and they've all been giants. They've all been 6'5", 6'6", 6'8", 6'9", and then 240 to 290 pounds.
Well, it's not nobody, bro.
What's that?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That the larger man will just have to make a couple tweaks.
References, bro. Usyk Andy Ruiz, who are not these massive giants, and they still managed to become unified champions.
Yeah, Andy Ruiz was a one-hit wonder that got lucky that exposed Joshua. That's
I mean, but that's your opinion, though. I mean, he did win the fucking belt.
It's a
Or am I
fact.
fucking lying?
What's
No,
he done
what I'm
since
saying,
then?
it's a fact. Has he
No, it's
lost?
a fact. What's he done since?
Has he lost? He beat fucking Areola and
What's he done
King
since?
Kong. What are you?
Has he even won a title? Has he even got a title?
Bro.
Is he even ranked?
He hasn't gotten an opportunity for a title, bro. He hasn't gotten it. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
because he's not ranked. He's not taking good fights.
But you're not spitting facts, bro. It's just your opinion. I am spitting fucking facts. Ruiz did become unified champion, and he hasn't had a loss ever since.
And he didn't become undisputed. He didn't become undisputed.
He was unified. There's never been an undisputed champ on this era, bro. Unified, whatever.
You twisted your words. You said unified them back to undisputed. He was never undisputed. He was a one-hit wonder.
Whatever, unified.
It was Joshua. And what's he done since? What has he done since?
I already told you he beat fucking King Kong and Areola, bro. You think King Kong is easy? Fuck no, he's not, bro.
He's 40 years old, dude. Look, you gotta put this aside. He got lucky by exposing a guy. He's done nothing since.
But that's your opinion, though, bro. Come on. That's your opinion, bro. And I respect the cool. You think he's just a lucky guy?
He hasn't done anything to put himself in a mandatory position. This is a fact. By the way, a fact is something that's actually
King Kong was a title eliminator, bro. So how is that a fact? If it was a title eliminator.
So tell me, where's he mandatory?
And then the WBC ordered the WBC ordered Wilder versus Ruiz on the convention, bro. I don't know if you missed
that fell through, didn't it?
So you're trying to say that Andy's not up there on the rankings to get a title shot? He fucking is, bro.
Okay.
I don't like facts. I use my truths. Sorry, guys.
Simple fact: he hasn't done anything since then. I mean, King Kong has nothing to write home about right now at this point in the stage of his career. The fact that he had such a challenging fight against that guy is kind of sad. He's 40-something years old. Long-ass amateur career. He should have knocked him out. Should have knocked him out easy. Couldn't.
Let me tell you what Ruiz said. Ruiz said King Kong punches way harder than AJ, so it's not that easy just to get in there. Bro.
And let's see, who's the other one that you said?
But I mean, Ruiz is probably lying, right?
Another
because he's just a one-hit wonder, right?
Another 40-year-old. Great. So he's
just as a reminder, he did beat Parker, but Parker got the home decision.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't care, bro. He just wants to say that Andy's a one-hit wonder, bro.
And that
you were asking for names. Now you're detouring and deflecting.
That's what this fool does, bro. I'm gonna just let him alone, bro. Yeah. Andy was a one-hit wonder because you fucking say so, not because of the reference that I'm saying that are actually factual.
What
I was just saying that a lot of people think that the Giants are the only ones that can win and that they've been dominating for like ever. I don't see it like that. It was one guy, Klitschko, who he dominated for a long time, but he also got beat by smaller dudes. He got knocked out twice. I mean, and his brother, he got beat by Chris Bird, another small dude. Mike Tyson,
bro, a good little
we're talking longevity of their career,
man.
Gonzo. I'm sorry, one thing real quick, 150. We're talking about the longevity of their career. You're talking one instance.
We're talking about. What I'm saying, inside of the ring, you can never bank 100% that the guy that you think is gonna win is gonna always win.
Domination is a longevity. Okay, everything.
It's obvious truism, but it's still a fucking. You can't assume that the bigger dude's gonna fucking win. Dude, if you think the bigger dude's gonna always win, then you bet your fucking house. And I'm not saying to you, Chief, but you bet your house on it. You bet your house on it. You probably won't. You probably won't because nobody knows. And I'm saying if I know a little guy, a little heavyweight that got power, and I like his skill set, hey man. To me, I might pick that guy to beat that other guy.
Okay,
because
so
like I said, the bigger guy got a lot of space in between their arms. After 6'5", they start losing coordination. When the dude is fucking on you like White Iron Rice throwing these short uppercuts, sometimes, hey man, that bigger dude might not have the answer.
And nobody
That's
said
what I'm saying.
Nobody said that they can't win. What we're saying, or what Frank was saying, that I'm trying to help make his point is that hasn't happened over the last 30 years. There's been one instance. There's been maybe one or two instances, and for the rest of the time, it's been the Giants that have taken over the division so far.
Which are these Giants? Who are these guys?
We just said Lewis, Klitschko, and his Fury.
Yeah, it started with Lennox Lewis, didn't it? I think that's what that was the started with Lennox Lewis with the guys. Imagine this. Remember Gonzalo, remember when they considered Muhammad Ali a giant? Like that, he was a big dude. Well, he was tall, but George Foreman in the 70s, they were like, "Oh, he's a monster." Like he was considered because back then heavyweights. Think about this, guys. Rocky Marciano never fought. The heaviest he ever fought, I believe, was 191 pounds.
Yep.
Hey, but can I say something about that? Can I say something about that? Can I say something about that? Can I say something about that?
No, listen.
Hold on. Let me say something about that. Let me say something about that because I see Gonzalo's point a little bit because you guys brought up the good point that the taller guy is gonna make the shorter guy work harder. That being said, Lewis and Vladimir Klitschko, that is, what do they have in common? Clinching. And I still remember when Klitschko near the end of his career was fighting Brian Jennings, and he was clinching and clinching. Finally, after 20 fights, a ref had the balls to call him out on it. Said, "Hey, stop clinching." The fight changed. From one round to the next, it was night and day. All of a sudden, Klitschko started looking scared. He started stumbling. So, I don't know, man. Like, hey, by the way, Lewis, how old was he when he retired?
37?
37, 38.
Yeah. It's like, I think that I think he has a point in that we haven't seen enough tall guys to know how they continue
That's
fighting.
That's been 30 years. How many more years do we need to see?
Usyk is a champion right now, man. He's like 6'4". He was a fucking cruiserweight.
6'3".
He got
6'3",
bro. Same dimensions as Ali, bro.
Yep, same dimensions as Ali.
I'm telling you, he's gonna beat him, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Actually, he's actually bigger weight wise, like shoulder width wise. He's actually bigger.
Holyfield's beating the shit out of fucking what's that dude? Riddick Bowe too. Like, didn't he win? Like, who won the two fights? Well, they were pretty competitive.
Bo got better of Holyfield.
Bro, we seen Tyson Fury struggle with little heavyweights, bro. Fucking Otto Wallin, what is the other dude? What's the name?
Cunningham,
the cruiserweight, bro. And Usyk's levels ahead of those guys, man. Levels ahead of those guys, and he's a southpaw.
If Usyk wins this, then that throws a lot of this talk that we're doing right now out the window because then a shorter guy will come in to dominate the division. But thus far, the number one AB guy is Fury. The number one AB guy, depending on which one you put above the other, is Usyk. Now, I don't argue if someone says Usyk is the number one guy, but they're number one A and one B. However, whichever one you put Fury at, he's 6'9" and well over 250. And then the guy that preceded him temporarily was Joshua, another 6'6", 230, 40 plus pound guy. And then before that was Klitschko, 6'6". And 240 pounds. The guy before that was his brother, 6'8", 240 plus pounds. Before that was Klitschko, 6'5", 200 plus pounds. So that goes all the way back to 99. So it's not that the shorter guy can't win. There was never an argument about that, Gonzalo. The point that was made was the taller guys have dominated the division for the past 30 years, and that's an indisputable fact.
And I only said that because we were talking about the next crop, and the next crop doesn't have these physical attributes, and that's why I'm like, it's going to be really difficult.
It started with people saying that Richard Torres cannot be future champion because of his fucking height.
We're talking about domination. At least that's what I'm talking about. And this Fury guy has dominated, whether you like it or not. And so did Klitschko and Lewis. They just dominated. Did they get beat? Yeah, of course.
Neither Frank nor I said that Torres couldn't dominate. That was never part of the conversation.
If Torres can catch,
you could go back and listen. Actually,
if Richard Torres can catch as well as he pitches, I'll tell you, he can be scary to anybody. Because he throws a lot of punches, and that's the trade-off with the smaller guy. I mean, usually you'll say a bigger guy, a good big guy beats a good little guy, but the little guy like Torres, he's going to come with so much activity, and like the bigger guys throughout history, it's also unusual that back in the day, guys over 6 feet weren't usually athletic. They were too gangly and goofy. There was always bigger guys, but they never rose to the level of the smaller guys because of athleticism. But now that with training and other things, I guess they've been able to do it. Also, a change like Vladimir Klitschko is what they used to call him. Klitschko. Yeah, Klitschko. That was never allowed back in the day. You couldn't just grab people the way they let it get away with today. I don't know if that was a fucking the chicken before the egg. I don't know. I don't know if that happened because of them or what, but it just wasn't a thing as much back in the day. And Ali didn't grab nowhere near like Klitschko. Klitschko, if you got into his oven anywhere near
his... Did you watch him fight Floyd Patterson? There were 19 clinches in the first round.
Yeah, dude, I watched Ali fight, but
Yeah, there were 19 clinches.
but Ali wasn't. But okay, Patterson fight, but Ali wasn't a clincher. And clincher,
Yeah,
that wasn't his thing.
He was a clinch.
Yeah, he was.
When he fought,
Yeah, he
Patterson
definitely
the
was.
first time, when there was 19 clinches in the first round of the first fight, that was before the exile. Ali was clinching his entire career.
Like Klitschko.
I wouldn't call him
He
a
grabbed
clinch,
behind
though.
the head and pushed their head down. He was a clincher.
Yeah, but that's not clinching. Clinching is reaching out and grabbing anybody to stop the fight from happening. Meaning, once somebody's in your wheelhouse that you're uncomfortable, you just reach out and grab them.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
time up to stop their offense. Ali was known for that, and people that forget that are the ones that rely on his highlights to remember his career versus that actually remember how he fought.
Why is he considered one of
Ali
the
was a
greatest of
clincher.
all time? But one of the greatest of all time. So how would somebody known as a clincher be considered one of the greatest by almost everybody across the
People
board?
rely on the highlights to remember what he could do now instead
They
of
were
going
saying
back
that they were saying that about him while he was still fighting.
that he was the greatest. Yeah, I'm
all
not
time.
arguing. I'm not arguing that standpoint. Joe Louis is the greatest to me. That's beside the point. He was a clincher. There's nothing you can dispute about that. If you go back and watch his fights, it's there. Floyd Patterson, his first reign, the prime greatest of all time Ali, he clinched him, reached out and grabbed him 19 times in the first round. He's a clincher. There's no disputing that. If you go back and watch his fights, you'll see he grabs a lot. He reaches out and grabs. When they get inside his reach, he grabs. Ali could.
All right, well, let's just want to jump into quickly talk about the fight. And by the way, a super chat from Oli G. Thank you for your contribution. He says, "Happy Friday. Let's take a moment to appreciate how boxing is in fact not dead." 2023: Garcia versus Tank, Haney versus Loma, and now Usyk versus Fury. Oh, and Teofimo against Josh Taylor, and more to come. Yeah, hopefully all of those fights take place and we have more fights. Thank you for that contribution, Oli. And I just want to say that it appears as it's a foregone conclusion that the bigger guy is going to win, just because of the size. And it's true. And Gonzalo brought out a good point. The big guys that have dominated the heavyweight division are only three. It's Lennox Lewis, Vladimir and Vitaly Klitschko. And I would say more Vladimir because he had a longer career. Vitaly, I mean, he can disappear quickly. And then now Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury, I mean, you can start questioning his resume, to be honest, because it's not that impressive, right? So anyways, those three guys are the ones that have dominated. But you've also had, like Mr. VDA said, smaller guys beat these big guys, like, what was his name again? Chris Bird and Layman Brewster. They defeated Vladimir. They defeated Vladimir Klitschko, and then Vladimir Klitschko.
When you talk dominance,
dominance
is a long period of time, and that you're talking one situations that happened over a long period of time of guys that came and may have pulled off an upset, but they weren't able to sustain. Therefore, they weren't dominant.
Usyk is one of a lifetime type of fighters that come all one generation. They show up in one generation. So you have an exception here as well. He's extremely talented. And if there's a small guy that can beat a big guy, it's Alexander Usyk. Because these other guys managed to do it.
Thank you, Bucho. Is it Bucho, Mr. Bucho? The one thing you're missing about what I said, and maybe Chief was saying too, is not that Theory is just big. He's ultra talented. He's the best fighter in the division. The guy can fight.
I agree. So was Vladimir Klitschko. So was Vladimir Klitschko. So was these other guys. I know they're different boxers.
No. Klitschko was not as talented as Fury.
He was a talent. Sorry, what do you say? Vladimir is not a talent?
What the fuck am I supposed to say?
He's not as talented as Fury. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And he has a much better resume than Tyson Fury.
No, I'm saying, but the talent.
I'm not going to pretend.
Okay, I want to.
That's subjective. If you look at what Fury has done, it's nothing compared to what Vladimir did. Vladimir dominated the division for a long ass time. Fury won't be able to do that. That's a fact. He won't be able to do that. Well, his talent has been shown. His talent has been manifested. It's been shown to us by defeating Deontay Wilder 2 times. Because if you don't want to count the first one. And some other fights here and there, and Vladimir Klitschko 50 years ago. That's it.
Okay, so if he beats Usyk, does that change your mind?
So I don't know why are you impressed with Tyson Fury? Why are you tell me the fight that made you believe, oh my god, this guy, he's so talented. I've never this is generational talent. Which fight, please?
It would be the Wilder fight.
He's not impressive.
Which fight? No. Which fight, please?
The Wilder fight, the Chisora fight,
the Wilder fight,
the
Wilder fight. Okay, well, that's your opinion. Just your opinion. It's fine, it's fine. I'm just asking. Wilder, okay.
Yeah,
I think he's a lot better than Vladimir.
Klitschko dominated for a whole decade, bro.
Yeah, his dominance. Nobody's arguing that his dominance is not. He wasn't dominant.
For beating AJ, bro. Like,
look, I don't disagree. I think Tyson Fury has skill, but bro, Usyk will take that away. He's not gonna look like how you think when they fight, bro. Styles make fights, like I said.
Yeah, that's why they fight. I mean, you might be right. I'm not saying. Yeah, you might be right, but it's going to be an uphill battle, and that you can't deny.
No, it's going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be a competitive fight, no matter what.
No, that Usyk is going to have to climb a mountain. That he needs to have the performance of his life. There's always a favorite. Okay, there's always a favorite.
I think Fury has a lot of pressure. I think Fury has a lot of pressure. He cannot even look bad against Usyk. He cannot look bad against this smaller guy.
And it's like this. Like, look, Loma may be the more talented. He may have the more accomplishments than Haney, but he's going to have the uphill battle. So just like with Usyk and Fury, you may think Usyk's great and he's this great boxer, but that size, those physical attributes, and that Fury is very talented, it's an uphill battle. And
I'm not. Like I said, bro, I'm not disputing that, but I'm telling you, Styles made fights, and we see Tyson Fury struggle with smaller guys, smaller heavyweights. He even said himself the smaller heavyweights is his weakness. He even said that his own self. So I know Usyk has a legit chance of winning this fight and probably going to beat him.
Why hasn't it not been an uphill battle for Alexander Usyk? He's fighting all over the place. He's fighting in other people's countries. He's fighting in our heavyweights. Twice he beat Joshua in the UK. He's always fighting an uphill battle. This is nothing new for
physicality.
This is nothing new.
Matters. It's going to be an uphill battle. He's going to have to. Fury could overwhelm him with the leaning. They may, like you said. I think BDA said it could be an ugly, boring fight.
But then that brings up a good point, though. But then that brings up a good. But can I say something? That brings up a good point, though, about the clinching. What if the referee gets on Fury's asses, no clinching?
In Wembley, in his hometown, I doubt it.
No, but I know. But what if? What if?
Here's the other part to that when it comes to clinching, though, is who's initiating the clinching? If they're both coming in and tying up together, who's the referee going to reprimand?
But you used the right word right there, Chief. I would agree. Tying up. There's a big difference when Ali was famous like the guy got close, grab him by the head, but as the ref stepped forward, what he would do is push the guy's head down and push off him. But he would always, in fact, like the first round, if I remember correctly, against Joe Frazier, the first time he clinched him, like put his right arm under Joe Fiore's, what's his name's left arm. The fucking ref come over and gave him a visual warning, like pulled him apart and said, "There's your warning," but one finger up. So he was warned the first time he clinched, like did an actual clinch. He would push somebody because he was taller, grabbing someone's head and pushing down and then leaping back. He would do that all the time, which did piss off a lot of people because of his size. But actual clinching, holding a dude's arms and not letting him pull away, and then the rest back for them, you would instantly get a warning. Literally, the first time he grabbed Frazier by the arm, the ref pulled him apart and said, "There's your warning. Do not clinch." Like, so back then there was on my point was today for some reason they just let the guys do it over and over.
Yeah, they do.
And it goes round after round before someone says, "Hey, stop clinching." That's, you know what I mean? We've argued about it. We tell people that's not a part of the rules. You're supposed to be warned. Okay. And Ali was part of his greatness. I thought he was always on the edge. Like, he would grab the dude by the head. He'd see the ref coming. He knows what's coming. So he would just not only jump back, but he would push down on the dude's head to give that strain on the back of the neck, which drags the power out of you.
That's actually
exactly. It takes more power out of a dude pushing on the back of a dude's neck.
Yeah,
exactly. And he did get warnings for that too. A lot of people did hate that he would do that, but he did.
Well, 2 points then. 2 points.
So there was never a repercussion.
2 points.
Well, because you get so many you get 2 warnings, a verbal warning, using around, you get a point. Depends on how flagrant it is. But actually tying a dude's arms up and not letting him pull, like you see a guy physically trying to pull his arms around to keep the fight going. And that's what I'm saying with Klitschko, because Klitschko never was good on the inside. Obviously, being the fucking tall freak that he was, everything was out at the end of his stick. That's where he was good. He wasn't good on the inside. So instead of learning how to inside fight, which he did better after years later, but he would just tie the dude up and not let any action happen. And that's one of the reasons HBO cut him loose and he had to go fight over in Germany.
Well, allow me to make 2 points, please.
Boring.
Allow me to make 2 points, please, gentlemen, because that's what I'd mentioned. Oh, by the way, excuse me. Let me read the super chat. First, excuse me. Paper Tiger says Kevin Johnson fight is Fury's best performance. So Paper Tiger's been on Fury's ass since the beginning of this stream. Shout out to Paper Tiger. And Kevin Johnson is a tricky fighter, that's for sure. I'd forgotten that he'd fought Fury. But be that as it may, shout out to Paper Tiger. I wanted to make 2 points about the clinching. Fury, if he doesn't clinch, what happens? Because, again, like I mentioned before, Klitschko, when he was told to stop against Brian Jennings in the last 3-4 rounds, I forget how many, it really did change the fight. Number 2, Usyk doesn't really clinch. I've seen him clinch like I can count it on the fingers of one hand the amounts of times I've seen him clinch, and most of those were against Joshua when he was hurt to the body. But that's the thing, though. Most people, when I hear them pick Fury, it's he's gonna lean on Usyk. So I think it's a fair question to ask. What happens if it doesn't? Because Gonzalo's been one of the guys who's been saying that Fury cannot box him, outfence him. But even Gonzalo mentions, and he can also lean on him. So it seems to me like that leaning on him and the clinching is going to be part of it. And I got to ask, what happens if he's not allowed to?
I just don't see that
he's going to trade with them.
It's never going to happen because they're heavyweights. They're going to lean on each other eventually at one point in time. Even if Usyk doesn't get leaned onto the middle of the ring, there will be a time when he's probably against the ropes and Fury's going to be able to close the distance and lean on him. It's just going to happen. Now, whether the referee lets him use it as a strategy or not, which I believe is your question, that remains to be seen. And what will happen is going to be depending on which fighter's got the momentum. Whether it's forward momentum or not is irrelevant because Usyk fights, his momentum doesn't have to be coming forward. Fury's does. Fury can move around, but when it comes time to generating momentum of ring generalship, the one that does it better all around is Usyk. The one that needs it usually to be going forward is Fury. So if Fury's able to come forward and he can't lean, but he's still having the momentum going, it's still in his favor. If Usyk's got the momentum in his favor of ring generalship, no matter how he's moving, and Fury and the ref says can't lean on him, then and that's what he's using to keep his momentum going in his favor, and the referee eliminates that, then he's definitely going to have an uphill battle because Usyk's now going to have multi dimensions of ways to perform, and they're going to take one away from Fury. That's definitely going to hurt his performance.
Can I just ask you guys? It'll take 2 seconds. If all things being equal, if Fury was shrunk down to 6'3" in the same dimensions as Usyk, who wins that fight?
Who's more skilled? Basically, what you're asking, Jimmy, right?
Yeah, I'm just asking if they were both the same size. Who wins that fight? I think almost everybody says Usyk, right? It's the size. It really what
exactly, Jimmy. And people are denying. No, we're not saying it's only because he's big. No, you're saying that.
Exactly
you're actually saying that.
Okay, but I mean, what happens if Ray Mercer and Lennox Lewis were the same size? They weren't. What happens if Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier were the same size?
I know, but my point was about the skill thing. I hear people saying, "No, it's not just size."
My thing with that, Jamie. My thing with that, I just have to say this. The reason I don't like making those comparisons is because, not that you're wrong or anything, but this is just my opinion. If you were to make if you were to make Fury smaller, then Fury would also become quicker. He wouldn't be as slow as he is. He's not slow, but what I'm basically saying, if you would make him smaller, he would become a better version of himself because by the fact of him being smaller, he would be more compact and fluid more than he is now.
Of course, absolutely. No, of course. Okay, then what happens if Usyk was 6'7"?
Yeah, I wanted to say the same thing. His center of gravity is going to change.
But I think
Emmanuel Stewart once said that at some point, big can be an advantage, but at some point it's a threshold, and you pass that, it becomes a disadvantage. And I think Fury is kind of playing it in there. Like he's 6'9", 270 pounds. Like if he goes in, what do you guys think if he shows up with that type of weight? 270 pounds.
He can move around though. He can move. Like he's a big blob.
Against Wilder, when there's no opposition, or against dealing, I don't know, against Usyk, what if he's a high pace?
Usyk is quicker, bro.
But
exactly. What if he starts getting tired? You know, when you're fighting
It's
this
like
other
when
guy, you
people say
can take your time. You can take a break. You can take a round off. You know, you can relax. But when you have a guy like Usyk, if he becomes high paced, then 270 pounds might be a disadvantage. I'm just maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's true because look, he's competing right now. But it's like when people say, "Oh, if this flyweight, let's say for example, Ben Rodriguez, if he were a heavyweight, he'd be dominating." But that's physically impossible. That's the reason why those weight classes throw a lot of punches and the heavyweights throw less. If you put that, you cannot put that guy and have him do the same things in a bigger frame. Now, Usyk from cruiserweight, he's pulling it off, or he's still doing a lot, winning and beating these guys. So that makes him a special talent. He's really, really good. But there's a limit also for him.
Well, there's a reason why the pound for pound conversation never included heavyweights. They used to leave them separate because sometimes you'll get a guy fighting a dude 40, 50 pounds heavier than them where you'll never see that in any other division. It's always within the same area. So that's for that reason they've always excluded. Pound for pound always meant compared to the heavyweights. Now some people include the heavyweights as in the pound for pound talk. But yeah.
Yeah, but the
Tyson was
height
on the
don't
list at
really
one point in
matter,
time.
bro. What matters is how you're using your build, bro, and depending on your attributes have to match your height and they have to match your style. You get where I'm going at. For example,
Yeah.
the only reason Fury is good is because he has footwork, bro. If he doesn't have footwork, then what else does he have? You get me? He's tall and shit, but there's a lot of top fighters that don't know how to use their build because they don't have the attributes or because they just don't know how to use their build for whatever reason and they're not successful. Remember that Chinese guy or Asian guy, I forgot his name.
Valuev.
Valuev.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to
do you
use
guys
his build, bro.
do you guys think Usyk can drop Fury just like
Yes.
Cunningham did?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
The only reason why I say no is because he doesn't throw the punches the kind of punches usually that Cunningham did to set that up.
He did. He does.
He doesn't wind up from the outside, and Fury didn't see that punch coming because of where it was coming from. That's mostly why he got knocked down.
He did it.
I think he can because Usyk throws the awkward angles, weird awkward angles. He's a southpaw. Otto Wallin was just doubling up with the left hand. What do you think Usyk's gonna do, bro? He's gonna hit him with straight lefts, right hooks. I think it's possible, bro.
I think it's going to be more of the fact he's going to hit him with straight punches. I don't think he's going to use too many hooks in this fight. I don't think he's going to set himself up for that. He's going to keep him to where he can control with the straight shots because that's what's going to bother Fury the most. It's not to say he's not going to throw any of those shots. He will throw an uppercut here, a hook there, because he'll vary up his combinations and how he throws them. But it's mostly going to be straight shots that are just totally going to discombobulate Fury if Usyk's going to win. I'm not picking a winner yet because I got to see their weights a little closer to the fight because that's going to show me who's taking it. One, it's going to show me possibly their mentality of what kind of fight they're going to try and approach. In other words, if Fury shows up at 270 pounds, to me that means he's going to try and fight him like he did Wilder, which will only benefit him if Usyk gets tired in the middle rounds to where then they start leaning on each other. And in that case, the referee is not going to tell either one. He'll warn both of them, but he won't take it away because they'll be leaning on each other.
I go. If you look throughout history, though, right? Look at the history of the fighters. When have we ever seen Usyk breathe through his mouth, like seriously tired? Even at the end of the Joshua fights, he was up on his toes in the 12th round, snapping punches. Fury was breathing like a guppy in the 4th round against Wilder, literally mouth open, taking large gulps of air. Because I don't think he trained that well for the 3rd fight. Plus that heavyweight, I think if he comes in super heavy against Usyk, would be stupid. He should come in like around 265. I think it would be best for him.
The flip that I'm trying to say of the point you're making, Jimmy, and it's not that you're wrong on anything. What I'm saying is that in those middle round, in both fights, in the middle rounds where Usyk was taking time off and he wasn't really taking initiative and he was taking those breaks because he's older, the weight's heavier. He is getting somewhat fatigued. He may still be conditioned and in shape, but he's still getting somewhat fatigued. Joshua doesn't have that mentality of, all right, now I'm gonna pour it on. He tried a little bit more in the 2nd fight, but he doesn't have the same proficiency that I've said earlier that Fury does of knowing, okay, this is my time to take advantage. I'm going to mug. I'm gonna hit the body. I'm gonna lean. I'm gonna walk him backwards. Anytime I get in close, I'm just gonna walk him straight back. and then see if that actually takes a toll on him. The reason why you're saying we never saw that is because Joshua has no idea how to do that. He never did. He doesn't. He never will. And Fury does. Now, what weight he's going to come in at to do that, I have no idea. But I guarantee you, if that fight hits a lull to where both guys are a little bit fatigued, that's you're going to see Fury try and take advantage of that, whereas Joshua didn't.
I'll say this
maybe Chief, he's never really, Joshua's never really thought of resorting to that, like mainly because he punches hard. So why spend the time crowding a fighter and smothering, tying him up if you can invest more time in throwing uppercuts and short hooks to knock him out? And I think that Joshua knows that. That's the reason he don't fight like that. Because instead of wasting a lot of time, dude, it's better to land the punch and knock the opponent out. Because that's one of Joshua's biggest attributes. He hits hard with both hands. So, I mean, style makes fights, basically what I'm saying. And in regards to Fury tying up and leaning on him, yeah, that's an advantage that he certainly has that Joshua doesn't, but not because Joshua doesn't know how to fight like that. It's because he just doesn't really have no need for that.
Well, listen, fellas, with that being said, fellas, though, we do have to cut this short. We've been on for 2 hours. You guys can obviously stay here in the video chat, keep on chatting, but there's other business to take care of. By the way, just real quick before we go, in the Discord, I'm seeing that Devin Haney versus Lomachenko are in the process of finalizing the deal. Hopefully, that means that Devin Haney is actually signing his part of the deal because he's been stalling this one just like he did with the Kambosos one. So hey, 2023, it's looking like it's going to be a fantastic year, man. Lomachenko, Haney, Garcia Davis, maybe Fury Usyk. They've come to terms. Beterbiev Bivol supposedly too. They're talking about that. And then of course we've got what was the other one, guys? Oh, Inoue versus Fulton. So hey, we'll see what happens. You never know, man. With that being said,
I got Devin the Clamp Haney winning that fight. You can put me in for that.
Yep. Junior Jones style.
All right. Well, listen, fellas, we do have to go.
Junior Jones was an ass.
I gotta go. But you guys take it easy out there. I gotta go. But you guys take it easy. And thanks for everybody for being on. Hey, by the way, shout out to Iamyourleader and KungfuBrandon for stepping up and doing the Kumite. Not a lot of people do that. So shout out to those fellas. I gotta go eat and I gotta put some work in and some other things. So guys, thanks again so much. Everybody on the panel here. Fantastic discussion. Thank you, man. Thank you. Right back at you. Fantastic discussions from everybody. Good points from everybody. I'll catch you guys later, right? Take it easy out there. All right. I'm off the panel right there, so I just want to give a couple of people here a shout out again, like Iamyourleader and KungfuBrandon. Again, a million thanks. Everybody in the chat, everybody that donated the super chat as well, by the way. Shout out to you fellas. The Chitlin Distributor, Alonso Amazing, Jonathan Morrison, Reverend Pickles. Who else was here? Greg Terrible, Peter Von Arks. Sounds like a regal name right there. Eparokua, Knockout Ned, Jonathan Kidder, Impala, Action Jackson. I think I already mentioned him. Hopefully he's not getting followed by what he said the other day. The Jews were following him around. Reverend Pickles, Uncle Bern Apostrophe, Alonso Amazing. Shout out to him. Bernhard, Shadow Combat, Super Anderson Aldo in the house as well. El Unico Cocho was there. Greg Terrible. Many more people as well. If I forgot to name you, because I gotta go. But you guys know who you are. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time. Possibly Sunday after the Harrison versus Zoo fight. Oh, gotta go.